Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Vonjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepa, graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibaba, kilibaba, kilibaba. Kilibaba, kilibaba, kilibaba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon. Spoon TV. Spoon.
Skidibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment. On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of spoon television.
From the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, right in the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Vonjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepa, graduate, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah. Rastafari. Kilibaba, kilibaba, kilibaba. Kilibaba, kilibaba, kilibaba. What I want? This one you got today.
School TV.
This one you got today.
School TV. School School TV. School entertainment.
And your boy Friday the South Band. Charges on the beat.
To the school to get your information. To the school to be part of our discussion. School television. School radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon.
Okay, folks, well, a great way to welcome you to another edition of the program Spoon Talk here on Spoon 107.5 FM, Fabric 101.1 FM, Super 95.5 FM, and of course, we're live on Facebook, the Spoon TV Live, Fabric TV Live, and also on Super TV Channel 10. I want to say welcome to all of you who have joined us this evening. My name is Nelson Colette, and of course, we have Dr. Richardson have joined us. We also have James Gude Flomo in the background as well. Let's say good evening to you, Dr. Richardson. It's great to have you on tonight.
Nelson, how are you?
Dr. Richardson, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing? I was muted. Can you hear me, Nelson?
Dr. Richardson?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, now I'm hearing you. Now you're clear.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. How is it? How are you doing? How's your day going?
Yeah, a busy one, but yeah, it was a good day so far. And
That's good.
I'm grateful to be here today.
What you are busy doing?
Busy doing plenty things.
Working? Well,
Definitely. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, today was I'm tired. Today is Friday. Seems like a long week. Today I also submitted my grades for my class. So I'm officially done with teaching until the semester opens. But
Wow.
yeah, because after the show I stay up until another 3-4 hours working.
Wow.
So yeah, today is all of a sudden it's like I'm just amazingly tired. But we're here. We're here to discuss Liberia's business. It's a commitment, a service to the country that we obliged to do. So
Yeah. And sometimes people think that working from home is just that stress-free thing, but depending on how much of the work you have to do, the workload, everything, sometimes it's even stressful.
yeah, no, you're right. Um, I find that honestly, when I'm in my office on campus, I I get a lot of stuff done. But when I'm home, obviously, the work of a woman, the role of a mother never stops.
Yeah.
So I have a house full of girls. I have four daughters and a
Wow.
grandson. So everybody needs their mommy, and I have a husband. So even when I'm working, I get interrupted, So and then you're home, so you can stop and eat lunch and do whatever you want to do. That's why I
Yeah.
work best at night because everybody's asleep. So
Mhm.
when everybody goes to bed, um, it's quiet, and that's the most time my brain kind of function well, late at night and very early in the morning.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But you read about that. Yep. So let's welcome. Anyway, tell me what's going on in the country. Give us a little bit of a flavor of what's going on in the country to the best that you know how. Uh,
Mm. Oh yeah. So lots of things happening now. Why we're talking about the June, how do you call it, the December
17.
17 protest.
Entire suffering.
Yeah, we tire suffering protest. Councilor Tiawon Gonglo's party, that's the Liberian People's Party, is
Mm-hmm.
also talking about another protest this time around, right before the executive mansion. um yeah, so but there are concerns as to whether it is even going to be possible, especially considering that that particular premises, that entire zone, the facility is highly protected. When it comes to security, there's a huge
Mm-hmm.
presence of state security there, and a lot more. um the peaceful conduct, how peaceful is going to be in the first place, those are all things that a lot of folks are concerned about, but that's another one. And we've been receiving reports from some marketeers. Just the other day, it was yesterday, I think we interviewed them. There was a fire outbreak in the red light area, somewhere around where you have the Access Bank. Um, an entire warehouse got at fire. According to what we've gathered, is that before the fire service could get on the scene, the fire, which was caused, according to report, by electrical shock, had taken over the entire facility, and over 300 Liberians, marketeers, they lost their entire, you know, their items in that fire outbreak. So
Oh, that is
they've
sad. That's a sad story.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
In this
yeah,
time of the year to lose you. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to rearrange my
mhm,
table here. This time of
yeah,
the year to lose your stuff is it's not a good thing.
yeah,
It's a sad thing, because people are depending on the goods to sell them and then make some
yeah,
money to at least to have
yeah.
some pocket change or something to have least something for the holidays.
Yeah, and in fact, what most of those victims told us was that the majority of them took loan from the bank to be able to do the different businesses they do. So now with the outbreak, even the banks are after them. Some of them are have gone, in different areas. They're trying to stay away from the public, but the bank is after them. At the same time, some of them are single parents, yeah, and a lot
Mm,
more. Some young men, the only thing they hope on, to generate a livelihood on a daily basis, they've lost that. So I think that's a human
yeah,
interest of, and it's a very sad one. Over 300
yeah.
persons have been affected by that.
Wow, that's sad. Very sad. Well, I wish them the best. I know Liberians are hearing it, so hopefully,
Yeah,
interest can be developed in the story, and then some miracle can happen over this holiday weekend, this holiday season. So,
yeah.
but it's sad. I don't like hearing stuff like that because I wish I was. When I hear it, I wish I was rich to just to just solve their problems. So,
Yeah,
but I'm sure something. it's a hard place to be, but something will come out of that
Yeah.
experience, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? It's funny that James left us, huh?
Yeah. James is in the back end. I see he's making some phone calls. I don't know who
Okay.
sending text
Okay.
messages to the man.
Okay, getting ready. Well, I just was wondering if you're okay, if you had anything else besides your usual conversation when you see me to talk about. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the conversation, James, besides your usual ANC conversation?
Oh, okay, yeah. CDC postponed their rally for February on grounds that they want to give people a chance. They said they received a communication from the president telling them to step down due to the political tension in the country and to also allow Liberians to celebrate the festive season. Yeah.
That's a good thing,
Uh,
especially to allow Liberians to celebrate the festive season. That's a good thing.
yeah, to celebrate the festive season. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's welcome our audience. If you're watching by social media, if you're watching by TV, uh, if you are listening to us by way of the radio, we want to welcome you to Spoon Network. You can, I'm sure Nelson told you that you can find us on Fabric, Spoon TV, and all the other uh, associates here that are with us. But we welcome you to the comment section. Those of you who are watching by way of um, social media, we encourage you to engage in this conversation because Liberia is all we have. It runs through all of us. So we have to be involved and talk about Liberia to the best that we know how. So I want to just welcome a few of our audience here today. We appreciate you being here. We're thankful that you are here. And give us your feedback. It's okay for you to agree or disagree with us as long as we civil. And for some of you, if you don't want to be civil, that's fine. I'm all the way sitting in my office, sleep well at night, so that's fine. It's okay. Um, so we'd like to welcome Francis Tamba Fairfolly. He said he's from Bong County, watching us from Cocoyah District. Yeah, sounds like a beautiful place over there. Bunk County is a very beautiful county. You guys know that, right? When you're driving through Bunk County to get to Nima. Yeah.
Dr. Richardson, except for the natural features and like the Patawi waterfall and those other things, but in terms of infrastructure, I think Bon County is far away behind.
Yeah. I was looking at it naturally, right. You're very right. Well, I grew up in Bunk County,
Okay.
the former district, which is Bunk Mines area, not far from Hindi. Hindi is a very beautiful area. It has, I think it's the St. Paul River. If you go, there's a huge, all the way in the back, very beautiful. Could be used for, electricity, boating. In fact, the German people had a boating club out there. Um, but I was basically talking about just the mountainous view
Okay.
on the hills. Like when you're driving, after you kind of pass Viala area, going towards Banga, you can just see the mountains, the hill, and the valleys. And I just think that view is so pretty. But you're right, there's not a lot of development in that area, but we'll get there. The road there now, the road that Ellen built is there, so we'll get there. Yeah, but you are right. We want to say hello to William K. McDavis. William is here with us today. Nakita Wia Roberts is also here. Nakita, I want to welcome you to the show. Farley Talawoli is here. He's watching from Bonny District. The people of Kwadu Bonny District says hello to Spoon. Thank you for being here. I want to say hello to Joe Sifa Jr. He's watching us also from Casablanca. Hey, you got Casablanca. Good day. My husband was watching the football game. Where are we?
The game is tough.
That's what you're telling me.
It's 2-1.
You know
Argentina
what happened?
2.
You know what happened to him?
I'm sweating.
I know, so he came home from work and he's sitting in the car on his phone watching the game, and I'm like looking, why the man in your car? He can't come inside. So I scored. I said, well, what's outside? I went outside. I was like, what are you doing outside? And he's like, I'm watching a football game. I'm like, oh my God, Super World Cup is is
It's not
on.
easy. The
Yeah,
game.
I think he told me Brazil is out, right?
Yeah, Brazil out.
Yeah, the Argentina who playing?
They just gave 10 minutes. They just gave 10 minutes out of 10. Argentina and Holland.
Wow, wow! I never imagined Holland would get Argentina hard time. That's how far soccer has come. Um, so Rita CFI, hello to you. Dwayne Myers Yemuff. I'm sorry, I'm not saying your last name right. I know it's Dwayne Myers Yemuff is watching for watching with us from Tubmansburg, Birmingham County. Um, Nakamu Jedru is watching from California. She says Cummings is our guest this weekend. Joseph Kanto. Hi Joseph, how are you? It's good seeing you here. Looking forward to your good comments. Uh, Philip Bala is also here. Uh, nice to see you here today, Philip. He's watching us all the time. Regine Farley is here watching from the USA. Regine says, Doctor, what's up? How are you? Sis Ruth Roberts Bangba is watching. She's said that we'll be out there on December 17th. Thomas Fayafoko is watching from Denver, Colorado, USA. Denver, Colorado, USA. He's watching. Lady Burr S. Holder is watching from Matadi. I assume Matadi Estate. Alfred K. Say Jr. is watching from Oro Keyhole. Tamba Lamy says, Dr. Richardson, how are you? How are you doing, Tamba? Uh, Mark Matthew is watching from Bummy. How are you doing, Mark? Elijah T. Johnson's watching from Jacksonville, Florida. He's somewhere warm. It's much warmer than what it is around here. T.G. Carsarco is watching. He says, hi, Dr. Richardson. How are you doing, TG? Yvette Duncan is also watching. Share the page. Tell your friend that Spoon is about to start. It is going to be hot and spirited today. So share the page. Otello Chocoto is watching. He says, I'm here just sitting and waiting for the show. Domowa Cully is also watching. Domowa, how are you doing? Joseph Sacker is watching as well. Bob Nathaniel is watching from Algeria. So that's really good to see Bob from Algeria here. Nicholas Brown says hello. Hi, how are you doing? Lawrence Kali is from Beirut, Lebanon. I just love it. I travel through these people here on Facebook. It's like vicariously traveling. We have so many people from around the world watching us. So when I can imagine what's going on in Beirut right now, when I hear them Lebanon, the Lebanon in the house. Good shout out to you. Marvelous K is here. He or she says he says hi. There's a picture of a he says hi, Dr. Richardson. How are you? Tapestra or something says he's watching from his village in Lofa. I didn't pronounce your name right. Nancy Bala is also here. Otis Weir is here. He's from the Netherlands. Wow, Netherlands is in the house. Albert Kamar is also here. He's following us from Western Australia. Wow, we got a wide reach, guys. You guys have to be proud of yourself. You're doing good with Liberian people, providing information. Kev, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Doctor. I'm doing great.
Good. So I'm just welcoming our audience here today. So until we get ready to start the show, If you're ready, let me know. I was waiting for CEO to join us to turn things over to him.
Oh yeah, we having a show. Look at James. He just watching the game, my man. Uh,
Now, what made
James
you do that?
James scored the second goal. Now Messi. Messi scored the penalty, right? Okay. You can't even get yourself together, my man. The Barcelona thing, they're in you.
So I know you fast. So I can't. If you can't watch the game, cause I know you're
No, I
FIFA.
watched the game and coming. Watching the game.
Oh,
On
cause the way you so calm.
Barcelona. Yeah. Barcelona. The good Flomo team. So he will support Argentina. But
Oh,
Messi
your
scored
team
penalty.
lost.
But I want Argentina to win because Netherlands beat America, so I want them to lose.
Who beat America?
Netherlands.
Oh, Netherlands. Okay, yeah, yeah.
So I
You
want.
know, I'm not following. So the craziness you were telling me earlier when you called me, right? Ibrahim came, who is sat in his car. He was talking. He was in the car. So I went to the door. I said, "But why is Ibrahim just sitting in his car?" So I went outside to see what he was doing, and he looked at me. He said, "I'm watching the game. I'm watching the game."
Yeah.
So,
What team is support? What team AB supporting?
it sounds like he's Argentina. I
If
didn't
by
get a
time,
chance.
if by time you support the winning team because he been losing on the
Don't even talk about Steelers this year, okay?
by time.
Uh-huh.
Nelson, are my man, man. Nelson, are my man. Yeah, I let Aaron business. Let Nelson.
Aaron listening to you right now.
I let business. Dang, I let business.
You're in studio?
No, no, he's not. He's
Oh,
not.
okay.
Yeah.
Let Nelson business. But good day. Something I let business, but I hit post that he did few minutes ago. He got problem.
Mm, that
Good
that
day.
that that post cross your line. Eh?
Yeah, that good day post. I like it.
I know you let Nelson and Rufus Divine because both of them can stay
Yeah,
in
that's was
they can
my
stay in
man.
the humanitarian area. They just
They stay in the middle. That my man. They stay in the middle.
hmm
But
But James good
I,
day home when he ready for me, it can be easy.
good day, good day can swing anyway.
No, good they can't swing anyway. Good they can swing mostly on ANC. That way he
Oh,
swings.
no, my ball not ANC. My ball not ANC.
No,
Good
he's
ain't
not
get
ANC. That's what I'm trying to tell you when he ready for me.
no good
I'm
ain't
saying
get no party. He can let go as he
I don't
when
believe
he
that
wake
James
up.
got party.
When he wake up, anything kind good he
I don't believe that James got party.
no
But James got where party.
no no.
You know,
This
tell us.
party that Messi ran out.
I tell you, I
Can I
tell
get party? My party at school.
you, good.
Let
That
me
good answer.
let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
Uh-huh.
James Spoon do have a lot of journalists that can be independent. James, people don't understand James. James will swing anyway. James is one of the most independent guy that with that swing, he will just put anything. It doesn't mean he for you. And if you think James for you, watch his next post.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
be provocative. That or yeah, well, yeah, people talking.
but James is not in nobody camp. It's not.
Yeah,
James, Emmanuel, those guys are not in nobody camp. They do what they got to do to make our network. We have a lot of we have a lot of good journalists that they're not in nobody camp. If you think they are in your camp, watch and see what they do next.
they jealous you.
No, they jail their CEO.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's very true. That meant to
Jail
say
their
that.
CEO. If you think the CEO for you, watch where he coming from next. I think
I'm
they
telling you.
get some meeting.
I am telling you. Stanton, welcome to the show.
What what he saying about me?
You say not anybody Kim.
Oh no, Kev is right. Kev no. Kev
You
thought I
said
was a sedition. They are beat on Samuel 12. And they are put a B2 on Samuel 12 and Lages. Kev is 100% right.
you said
Yeah.
James. You said you training James and all your employees to be like you.
Something playing in the back, guys. James, I was talking to you, that another woman.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, James, what's going on with you?
My
No,
man, why you
again
James?
for the second time.
James,
For the second time, we caught him. What's going
James,
on with James?
James, why you need that guy, my man? You went to
Wow.
Europe now, you need a guy?
Because be careful. They got a lot of ANC people gathering around. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm editing the paper voice.
My man, yeah,
Okay.
it's somebody for that woman voice we hear.
Now, woman voice, you call puppet voice, you better
The
stop it.
school. The school in Argentina.
My man,
Let's go.
no, James,
Yeah,
that
that's
Argentina,
true.
listen, guys, listen. They say 2-2.
Wow.
The Argentina game we're looking at here, the
No, my
Liberian
man.
people
James.
want you to tell them what's going on in the country. Kev Hassan said he thought I was a sedition. Then I put a B2 on Samuel
Damn,
12.
2-2.
Then Dr. Richardson thought I was from ANC. Then I came down high on ANC. He said, where do I belong, my people? Somebody help me. I belong to the Liberian people. One love. So said the reggae
That's 2-2.
stack. I mean, Kev,
Yeah. Yeah.
when we talk about that show, man, Dr. Richardson, the man named his daughter almost like himself. Last James School diploma is CDC. It is written all over him. Richardson.
My
Can
sister-in-law.
you tell your sister-in-law that's not true?
No, my sister-in-law.
James
Richard.
is not a sedition.
Hi, Richard.
How can you say James a sedition when another sedition took a passport and put it up and say why he living in Europe? See the CJ all over the place. They take James' passport and put it up and say how James got to Europe. You go ask your father minister or Lieutenant McGay.
You see your man, right? James, you see your man.
I tell
Yeah,
the
go ahead, man. Yo, okay, James.
Right.
They want to see your passport. We're gonna put your passport on and put everybody's passport up.
My man.
Dr. Richardson, you know,
Man,
let me
that
tell you
passport-
something.
Nothing can steal your heart.
Dr.
Nothing can
Richardson.
steal your heart.
Dr. Richardson,
Mhm.
CDC got some problem.
Mhm.
They want to look for everything
James,
on me to get
James.
bad. Why James and Sam
James,
get
my
passport to
passport
travel to Europe? Then they call me and say, "Oh, James is in Europe. Sam is in Europe. How they got there? Go ask Antonio McGill. When he hired our staff to go on that trip, and if they were blessed to have an opportunity with the school, then you tell us, say that's a problem. How they got passport? Go ask the foreign ministry. How they got passport? Cap flee. What the hell you're talking about here? That James are always advocating for you. That James too, you don't care your Tabata too. I get your passport. Go find something else. They one when I call it.
Okay, let's
Go
move
find
on.
his bank statement. Go find his bank record.
Move on.
The $11 million you're not still, you better worry about it. Because we're coming out with that report. The road fund as of today that have been misappropriated. Let's talk about it. RIA road is incomplete. East International running. Then you're talking about James Passport. That James Passport, the Liberian people will eat. You know, this is so crazy. That's how low you have gone in politics.
My man, let's have a
No,
good show.
Kev. Hold, Kev. Hold on. Don't
My
mind
man,
me.
let's have a good show.
Oh,
Let's
that
have
one
a-
is not good?
No,
That one
let's
is
have
not
a
good?
show. No,
Oh,
let's
James,
have a
the message they wanna, James, the message they wanna go. Let's ask the Liberian people what they
talk
wanna
about
do.
this. I don't want to talk about it. Nessie don't want to talk
But-
about it. Neither Dr. Richardson. Let's have a good
But let's
show.
ask the Dr. Richardson, let it won't go.
Yeah,
Dr. Richardson.
Yeah, that gotta go.
Oh, Dr. Richardson, you defend the CDC now?
yeah,
We're
yeah.
about
But
to open the phone line and we're about to say
still.
this kind of petty politics, it shouldn't work. Let it won't go?
Yeah.
No
I bring
sense.
our set to the level now.
No, we're not.
And I
But
want you to be, and I want you to be advising me.
if you can go as low as talking about James that he attended school in Europe. I thought that's what you should celebrate.
Seal,
Honor
seal,
this government.
seal. Please,
But
can
you
you
get your people there
can you
stealing.
seal? Can
See or what?
can you please,
Can you
guys,
please what?
unblock my sister Elena Flomo? She
Oh
was black.
no, Black Helena Flomo. She put him more on James and James passport business. She talking about her
No,
kids.
she talk about the
I will
no
not
no.
unblock her.
Please unblock my sister,
You get
man.
someone
That's
to a
my
stealing from the
supporter.
country. You get someone to a stealing from the country. It's not
That's
a
my
problem for
supporter.
you.
Can you block my
But
supporter?
you're going
Unblock my
after
supporter.
James passport. You get
James,
someone to a stealing.
James, can you unblock my
No, man, Kev, don't interrupt the show. Let me do my intro now. I gotta bring Asif
no,
Vad
no,
in
yeah,
here,
intro,
everybody.
intro
Asif
something.
Vad joining us today.
Okay,
Asif Vad
can
decided
you
to come
unblock
on
my
Spoon
supporter?
Talk.
Who?
Asif Vad, he decided to come on Spoon Talk
Can
today.
you
We'll be
unblock my
bringing him.
supporter?
I said,
James,
Vatoba.
Asif Vad Tukba.
Oh,
Tukba.
seal,
Tukpa. Tukpa.
seal.
Eh?
I'm
Okay, why
saying
you
this.
interrupting me, my man? Me,
Yeah,
Dubai,
my
nobody
supporter.
worry
I'm
about,
there.
you know.
And
Yeah.
enough people. Can you
Yeah.
unblock my supporter?
Okay, you want me to answer you?
Yes.
Okay, I will unblock her next year.
No, man, not
October
this year,
10th.
he said, you tell me happy birthday. Can we do it on my birthday?
Yeah, I will
No,
unblock her on your birthday.
no,
Thank you.
no.
When he
Seal,
tells me
that's my
happy birthday
supporter.
next year, they will unblock her.
Now that's you who advocated to a black ANC people. The people.
First, we want to say that's a wonderful show. We got Asif Vad from the ANC. Asif Vad belongs to which party? I thought that Asif Vad was the CDC before. Which party he belongs to?
They
We
say
got Asif Vad.
they say they kick him out of ANC, but they call him back.
They kick him out again. So he's not okay. So let me set this straight right. We got the former chief of staff to Alexander Cummings or the international chief of staff Asif Vad. Because in Liberia, he's not there, but when Mr. Cummings is traveling, and Asif Vad there. So he's like, Kev, how will you call this? He's international chief of staff, right?
You know,
He's a liaison, the OSC liaison.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah, I saw it in Canada though. When Mr. Cummings went to Canada, I think
he's
he traveled to California
yeah.
because they got program running in California.
You know, Mariah didn't travel with Cummings, right? So Iva is in America, so he taking that role. So they have.
But Ava is not in California. I think it's more by Yoba in California. Ava is in Maryland, I believe.
Don't make me laugh. Please, my man.
No. I spoke to Yoba today.
I want you today. That's
He's laughing. But when I was talking about his fake CDC people that are attacking James about passport,
no. You said something today. That's already saying, please.
I said nothing, but leave me alone. Let me bring Asif Vad Tukpa.
Want him. He
made me laugh. I said, how you come on?
Don't say this thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it. Please.
Yeah.
Don't get scared.
Yeah.
Don't get scared. I'm not saying it.
But listen. I'm surprised that Asif Vad is on Spoon Talk, though. Before you say anything, I want to give you the chance to really attack him. Before you mess it, fine. I want you to attack him, Kev. I think you gotta adjust your camera though. It's up on your head. You want to adjust it a little bit.
No, I was leaning forward.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Kev.
First of all, Isaac should apologize for the attack on me and you.
Which attack now?
On the tip. That was slick. Yes. He attacked you, and he said he would go after.
I thought you feeling that there.
And let me tell you. The era Isaac lived in Maryland, I was scared to go around that era. The Messi will attack me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was scared. The Messi will attack me. You know, the man lived in Maryland long. You know, like Kenja, man, I'm a spot there. But Kenja not there anymore. So
you never went to Kenja, man. Why you can lie like this?
Stop, man. Let me stop Kenja.
Where's that your place? You never step in Kenja doors one day. Why you can lie like this?
Are you telling me? When my brother used to play music in Kenja, I used to go there.
What? What's the address? What's the address for Kenja?
My man, you around.
You stuttering?
You're around Military Road and Georgia Avenue.
Look at
Georgia Avenue. That's
where's
my
the address?
flight.
Everybody who
Georgia
went there saw the
Avenue.
address on the flyer.
You now on Georgia Avenue.
Address, but Megan drive them out. Where you
No,
guys put them
wait. Let me
Kev,
ask you now on Georgia Avenue.
when I had Kennedy, Kev was walking around. He ain't had any car to drive anywhere.
Ivan, you now on Georgia Avenue.
So you say that when you have Kennedy, that Kev wasn't making 20,000.
CDC government was in power for you to make money. I beg you, yeah. He better thank God. He better thank God we helped to get CDC elected for him to get money. Otherwise, you're gonna be broke and still walking around with hole in your shoe.
I mean, what money? I do pro bono things. What do you mean, what money? I'm not like you. I'm not like you. You getting 15 grand.
You can't be like me, Kev. You can never be like me.
I don't
know. So, guys, I know this thing gonna get a long way for the next 2 hours. Let's pause for a minute. Let's welcome everybody. Let's introduce ourselves properly. I survived. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, through it all. That's how it is. Kefiko, Kev, I hold that tea you drink. You don't put your blue moon in that cover.
No, my man, it's cool, my man. It's cool. I gotta drink.
Blue moon, you say king juice, you say blue moon. I beg you.
They put get different name for king juice in America. But what was that you drinking? I asked, what's that you drinking?
Water. I don't drink. I don't smoke.
It's just like me. Never drank, never smoke.
Well, I won't say never for me. We got our mission boy, our Grenade boy, everything. So.
Oh, you stopped?
I stopped.
Oh yeah, I've never drank and never smoked. There's nothing going to make me. Nothing going to make me. I've been very, very straight, and nothing going to make me do those things. But listen, to each his own. To each his own.
Before I was that, my man, you need to apologize to all for your attack, my man. My man,
look,
let me take
you lucky. I'm a forgiving person. You lucky. I'm a forgiving person. If I was somebody,
so if anybody will have to talk, let me bring in our sister.
No, we'll see.
But Kev, hold on now.
Let me say this to him. CEO, you know that we were up all night to seek this man's.
But can we give the man a chance and get into the conversation? Well, Kev, I know this is all
after you spend all day inciting the people and demonizing me, then you up all night. You think I care for you?
My man, we're all up all night to.
You lucky I'm forgiving, Kev. I'm a forgiving person. Don't push your line, Kev. Don't push your line. I'm a forgiving person. Don't push your line.
We're up all night on your storm to rescue you.
My man, you are on your own high. You are not on me.
So let's bring in our Kev Hassan. Kev, time and season. It's Christmas time around the corner. Let's move on. Dr. Richardson. Welcome, my sister.
It's Friday.
I'm telling you, Good Friday.
Yeah, I'm a bit tired. I don't know. It's the end of the week. A lot of things happening in Liberia. The end of the school year for me, I was grading most of the day and late last night. But I'm looking forward to us having a great discussion today about the happenings in Liberia. I'm looking forward to us dissecting some of the information. I'm looking forward to whatever breaking news. I'm not surprised anymore when I come on Spoon. and any news can break on Spoon. So let's have a good conversation tonight.
Yeah, let's do. How's it? Where you from, man? What's up with you?
Man, I just want to give a shout out to all those ANC folks that are in California who went out there for this event. Mr. Cummings is in the country again, interacting with partisans and with Liberians, expanding the range of the people he reaches out to. So the people on the left coast now can say, yes, Mr. Cummings has come out here. He has engaged us. He will have the opportunity to probably speak to, other people in the community beyond Liberians. And the ANC folks, is an opportunity for them to also get together and speak on some of the issues in the country, strategize on some things, and even probably have one or two, policy discussions. So I just wish them a very successful weekend and to have fun, because every time you get together, you're supposed to have fun. This thing is not promised. Too many people I know are dying. So it's good to have fun. So I hope, Kev, as miserable as you can be every day, I hope you're having fun, Kev. Seriously.
Get the might call your name, but give us your intro, brother.
You know, Iva is on the show. One of the things I'm really interested on is he functional.
You want to
Why
ask
I,
my wealth guy?
No. Hold on 1 minute. I said, hold on 1 minute. Let the man finish. Just take your pen and paper. Go ahead,
why I
Ken.
say why I say that? According to Mr. Cummings, he was booted out. According to Mr. Cummings and the ANC, Iva no longer serve them because of his book. Is he still functional? He need to let us know. That's my interest.
Thank you very much. Guys, we want to welcome everyone joining us today. Please invite your friend, your next door neighbor, your sister, your brother, your loved one. We have a wonderful show coming your way. We will also be discussing the national issue of the country. Folks, we also want to talk about the East International and that of RIA, the highway from the airport. We're probably going to do that. I'm trying to bring a young man that have written the lawmakers and I want to bring him on the show one of these days. Well, I also want to say to every one of you, if you have your question, you want to join us on this wonderful Friday, we'll share our link. You come in, you speak to the issue, talk about the former VP trip to Nigeria, what we are hearing thereafter, talk about Mr. Cummings' trip here in America, talk about the December 17th rally. And what I heard today is shocking. They say it's not looking good because Tyrone Gonglo is going against this rally also. While all the opposition leaders and members trying to break away from this rally. If it is true, it's troubling. So we want to be discussing that. But today also, Musa Din sent a letter saying, listen, we approve you guys to go ahead and do your rally, but we'll wait for, we want to hear from you from Sport Ministry whether they are still saying no to CPP, and Zoka Wilson is the man to make that decision. But all indication, I think the rally will hold. Then folks will be asking, what's the next step? The attendance. Is this projecting Mr. Cummings? This have to do with Louis Brown himself, trying to prepare himself for 2029. Because of a long conversation today, they say Mr. Louis Brown is preparing himself for 2029. It's got nothing to do with Mr. Cummings. So we're going to dive into it and let's talk about the ambassador letter. That's it? The ambassador say up to the Liberian people, if those placed on sanction can run and the people should decide. We got a lot of stuff to discuss today. With a lot of stuff. Be with us. We'll be joined by Santomalin George, Salamatu, that Peabody, and the rest of the team will be coming along. That we can have a firing show. I believe Eugene Lamine Fagon will be here also. Dr. Richardson, we're starting from which end today?
Let's start from the letter from the U.S. ambassador to Liberia.
But that's the end game. Let's talk about the December 17th rally. It's a
Okay.
letter sent from Musa Dane, Councillor Dane, from the
Mhm.
Justice Ministry. Minister Dane sent this letter. Let me just get everybody. I hope, James, you put this letter up. Mr. James, good day, Flomo. This is the letter. James, can somebody tell James to put it up? But talk to me. You read the letter.
Um, well, the letter is interesting given the backdrop that we had the Minister of Youth and Sports here. Uh, what was it last week? He was here
Mhm.
stating that he was not going to allow ANC to use the facility, and he was talking about them getting the money back and all of that. And today we read that the Minister of Justice gave ANC permission and protection and cited their constitutional rights to protest at that location. So I mean, for me it was lesson learned. You can follow the law of man, or you can follow the law of the Constitution of Liberia. And it sounded to me that the Minister of Youth and Sports was following the law of man. He was supporting a party, supporting his friend George Weah, and you know, did forgot that the Constitution existed. So today we saw a flip flop from that decision to the constitutional decision. So I think lesson learned here that Liberians should follow the Constitution, follow the law. Don't follow your friends. Don't be your sycophant.
Thank you very much. I think let me bring in Mr. Toba. I think after you definitely saw the letter. It's in your chat room in your community, ANC CPP. To talk to Liberian folks tonight. What you make about now the minister stepping up, saying we accept your letter and guarding the organization the way forward.
Unfortunately, it was overdue clearance. This letter was sent, according to him, November 28th, and he responded on December 8th. You cannot stop people from assembling, especially peacefully. It was very clear this is a rally. This is where people who are tired suffering, which I think maybe 90% of Liberians are suffering. Even the ones that pretend, the CDC people, that they're not suffering, they're suffering. And when they get with that reality, they will join our protest. I mean our rally, they will join it. Because it's a protestation being uttered by citizens in a peaceful manner. And for them to accept, that means the Ministry of Youth and Sports, they accepted the application, they processed it, deposit was made, and they tried to renege because of the groundswell in support of of the rally, which, in my mind, didn't show any serious responsibility as a government institution. Now, the minister, we thank him for recognizing the rights of citizens, for providing, police support for them to make sure that they are safe. They will need to interact with Patrick Sulu and his team for us to make sure that those people are protected at all times. So it's very important for Liberian people to recognize that this will be a safe and peaceful gathering of citizens who will be expressing themselves in terms of the issues that they are facing. Look, I can send you a video from President Weah when he was speaking to the Liberian people way back, where he was very clear. He said, under his presidency, they will not go to sleep hungry. Under his presidency, they will not go to JFK and be rejected. So those are things today where people go to JFK, they get rejected, or they get imprisoned for not being able to pay their bills to get. They don't leave the hospital, they hold them hostage. So at what point will this president keep his promises? And like we were talking before the actual show started, all the different things, it's like every day is breaking news, something new happening. How can a government continue to run on empty fumes like this? They need to step back, look at themselves, look at the issues, and try to start to find solutions for the Liberian people.
Thank you. But let me ask you, after Kev, I want to bring the next question in. We are hearing counter protests, counter rally on that same day. So, Kev, I want you to speak and answer this question also. We remember counter protests, soup. You remember the University of Liberia incident, what happened? If the CDC planning any counter protest or counter rally, what do you know, Kev?
The CDC don't have a plan in counter in anybody protest or rally. The CDC do acknowledge that the Liberian people, under the Constitution of Liberia, you do have the right to assemble. Assemble. That's what this government stands for, to assemble. So the government will not stand in the way. Matter of fact, the stadium will be where the ANC or self-proclaimed CPP requested for will be available on that day. And secondly, they went to pay the remainder of the money was rejected, but still the the place will be available. This government, and we applaud the reply by the Justice Minister that under this government, your voices will never be trampled. So you can speak as you wish. That's why this president puts in the in law the Abdullah Kamara law. So this government, this president, believe in the freedom of speech, the freedom of everything that you desire. So you can go on that day on the 17th. Remember, we were supposed to nominate our standard bearer. We're supposed to start between that time. We postponed it. We don't have any plan to stand in the way of a free protest because we believe in the freedom of the people. So the ANC and self-proclaimed CPP can go on that day. The outside of the stadium, and I'm going to announce this today, will be available. The Minister of Youth and Sport will not stand in the way. Nobody will stand in the way. The Minister of Youth and Sports, Zuka Wilson, respects the law.
So, Kev, let me hold you. Kev, thank you. It is interesting. Folks, this is what makes Phone Talk interesting. I understand that what Brother Kev has on the show, confirming the entire Republic of Liberia, confirming on behalf of the government, confirming on behalf of D. Zuka Wilson, saying that nobody will stop CPP rally, saying that as a matter of fact, the spot is available or even beyond, telling us as a breaking news on Spoon that they want to make their second payment and the final 1,005, but the ministry rejected it and said, you know what? We will say give you the spot. Kev, are you giving us this breaking information
Yes, sir.
standing in a position as the information minister?
No,
Something no, Kev, let me finish now because this is interesting. Something that CPP maybe they have not heard officially from the government. Maybe they haven't. Kev, let me pause you for a minute. What just went into your mindset, Dr. Richardson or Asiva, that Kev Ahmed Hassan have now confirmed to the nation in a position as information minister or a strong advocate for this government, that he can now confirm that CPP, you guys can do your rally and do your rally
sir.
at the SPB.
Yes, sir, you can do your rally.
Dr. Richardson,
sir,
talk to me. Wait, Asiva, pause for a minute. Dr. Richardson, come in. Something is tickling me right now, but let me compose myself. Talk to me, Dr. Richardson. You're muted.
Yeah, sorry. I think the question is, how are we getting information and who are we getting information from on behalf of the government? I think that's kind of what's tickering you right now because we have Kev on the show giving us information that is from the government. He's speaking for the government. So that's what I think is happening right now. Is that what concerns you, sir?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that I have the information minister on Spoon Talk. I am surprised that I have the press secretary to the president on Spoon Talk. I'm surprised that I have the press relation officer for youth and sport on Spoon Talk. But let me hear from you, Isaac. Then I'm ready to tell what I'm surprised for mostly. Isaac, let me hear you have just given CPP what they've been asking for. This important breaking news. Let me hear from you, boy. Isaac, 1 minute, but let me speak, but I gotta run.
Okay, so Francine, maybe you may know Doc, what was Kev's position first when he heard about this this rally? What has been his position?
I'm not sure. Tell us. Tell
Kev,
us.
what has been your position with this rally from the onset? You getting information from somebody again, my man? You can't use your own brain.
Oh, you asking me?
Yeah.
Let me tell you. My position always with the position of the government that every Liberian under this government, every Liberian should have the freedom of speech. Should have the freedom according to our constitution to assemble. My position with the position of this government that gave the right to every Liberian to speak under this president, and you know that, Iva, you
You
know
tired
that
pretending? You tired
you,
pretending?
you
Wait,
know
wait,
that
Abba, we're gonna have a good show today.
standing in
Yeah,
the way of
yeah.
freedom.
If we
You know
go,
that.
listen, yeah, listen. We agree that President we are. This is
Well,
one of
never,
the best. Listen, this
never.
thing going down, President we are legacy. Period. Because
Yes.
of maybe the black one or two radio station, but he always allowed people to speak. But let me say this to you, Kev. For you to give this announcement, that's what I want you to come in.
I will address it. I wanted to know his position before. I
Kev
don't
is
know.
giving this announcement. I thought this announcement should be given officially by the government of Liberia.
Kev was
I thought
reading.
this announcement, and Kev is giving an announcement that somebody just confirmed to me. When I told you say I'll be back, they just confirmed everything that Kev has said. It's true.
But Stanton, they provide Kev information because sometimes he is the preemptor of the government's information to people. So they can sensitize the people then who are for or against, so they can know what the reaction is. So you always see Kev either looking at a phone or looking at the other screen for him to get the text or the messenger or the WhatsApp message, so he can be able to relate it. Because
And
Kev,
actually, I've had to answer your question. Somebody just reminded me because I wasn't on the show that day when the Minister of Youth and Sports was here. They said that Kev's position was an unauthorized person at Youth and Sports sign the approval and issue a receipt. He said you said that on the show, Kev. I don't know how true that is.
No, but so let's move on. He said it. It's true.
Okay.
He said it. But what you guys should focus on now, should Kev be
no,
the chairman in which? That's my point.
no, he's not the one.
Exactly, though.
He's not. But right now, I don't think they have trust in the Minister of Information anyway. I think they're trying to sideline him. Yes, I think the letter who is has own issues right now. So from the skimming with people's salaries over there that Eugene Fagon be talking about, to just how he handled information for the government at this point, where he now rah and trying to be overly aggressive like he was, like in my situation, lying and say I was arrested at the border when no, they took me to the border. So all of these lies and Kev here, you saw July 26 when there were hooligans organized by government people to go and attack those SUP students. And you can sit there and say this government believes in free speech. No, the government does not believe in free speech. The government does not believe in dissension. Why do you think they headhunting people? What happened with Alex Williams? Where is Alex Williams today?
We're not going to go through your make believe.
But listen though. Let me say this. It's important, Kev. I will give you the time to give your breaking news. It's very interesting that you confirm it from your sources. Maybe I don't know, Youth and Sport Ministry, somebody in the government. It is now confirmed. CPP celebrate. Your rider will be here on that day, the 17th, outside of the SKD stadium. It is important for us to understand that this is the announcement coming from Kev Hassan, and that is 100% true. That now let's just forget about, the rider will not be here, the rider will be here now. It is confirmed. It will be here. And also, Kev said they rejected the bonus 1005.
And that's inside information, Stanton.
I know. They rejected the 1005. So your guys want to pay the money. People say we're not taking your banner 1,005. But why couldn't they give the 2,000 back to you? But it I won't. But Kev, talk to us.
Listen, I want the general public to understand that we had we'll have June 7th, January 6th. We have a lot of protests under this government with the instruction of the president, directly from the president to the government, protect our people, to protest and have freedom of speech. And I can confirm to you, to the public, that this president have instructed his government
people, by the people, and for the people. We could not have arrived at this day without our voices being heard loudly, and all our views, no matter how critical, being freely expressed in an atmosphere void of intimidation and arrest. This was only made possible by the tolerance of my predecessor, Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who protected the rights of freedom of speech as enshrined in our Constitution. Now, in my turn, I will go further to encourage and reinforce not only freedom of speech, but also freedom of political assembly.
So listen, all right. You can brush off this thing like you call names here and there. But I think, George, we have a passing grade when you talk about
Well, let me finish.
freedom.
Let me finish.
I beg you, Kev, I beg you, let me move on this one.
Yeah,
I think the president will have a passing grade when you talk about freedom compared to anything we have ever seen in Liberia. That this president have allowed folks to go above and beyond exercising their constitutional right to express themselves. Though you have some hooligans that think they're doing the president bidding to counter protest, to create problem, but I think you can give this president in our lifetime some passing grade. You can disagree with me.
No, I want to ask you a question, Chief. So you won't tell me that's radio station where Louis Brown was, and I on Capitol Hill?
I don't know the radio station. I know
wherever Louis Brown was, where he was attacked, and on the
bypass. I don't know the location, but I think it was in Monrovia.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think the police didn't have information about that stuff that was coming down?
Speculation as a vibe.
No, I ask you, do you think? We have no conversation.
I don't know. For conversation's sake. I don't know, to be frank.
Okay. 1, 2. July 26th. Were police not there on the scene and being hands off?
Yeah, but your argument as to July 26th holds water. But then what happened? I think it is important when the other people came along, some of them were sedition, that this president, I believe, through the Justice Ministry, ordered the arrest. Now, as a citizen or Liberian, a group that supported the soup guys, I think we all should ask what become of that case.
Thank you.
And as per the law, we should fight the case through. But you will not put this on President George Brown. Let me ask you a question, though.
Right.
Do you think people that have some sympathy to this president would do things by themselves, for themselves, not to the president?
I can agree with that. But for public instances where if he really believes that he wants to protect the rights of citizens, they will be preemptive. They will get there. They will ensure that nobody disrupts.
But let me ask you the question.
Sure.
What CPP just did, right?
Uh-huh.
They wrote the Justice Ministry. They wrote Minister of Youth and Sport.
Right.
They told Minister, inform him, not asking for permission, informing him that we'll be having our rally December 17th. The Justice Ministry replied, we will give you guys our support and protection. Some
Oh,
rally.
hold on 1 second. Let me ask you though. How you know they didn't ask? How you know they just said we'll be having our rally? Did you see the letter from?
I saw the letter from your people, CPP. They
Okay.
informed. We have the letter here. They
Okay.
informed the Justice Ministry. They
Right.
never say we are asking your permission. No, we are informing you on
Right.
this day we plan to have a rally. That's the best thing you can do as an organization.
Yes.
So therefore, based on that, the Justice Ministry said we will present our support, which according to the law, we have to protect your right to rally. Now, if any other counter rally taking place, that's why I asked Kev Hassan. I want to be on record today. We should find out whether that counter rally have put in a request to have the rally thereof on the same day. Are you following me? If there is no request to have a rally on that same day, and somebody of the blue just say, you know what, I'm coming to have a rally, and they interrupt this rally, then that's the problem.
And even
Because
if there is a counter,
the reason why we inform the government to have the right to assembly, to rally, is because we ask it for the protection. So if another person having rally across the street, the government will have a plan in place to protect both rally. So
and
that's my
you
argument.
can see that happening. Let's say at the UN, in New York, people do counter protest, counter rally there all the time. The point is, there's a whole road. If you know, advocating for one rally and one issue, one policy or whatever on one side, the people who countering you will be on the other side. They won't be to you. So that way, you divide a group and there is no direct interaction between them. That's not saying that when they're leaving, somebody will not want to attack somebody, but that's where protection comes in. That's where it's important. It's important for
But
police to
again,
be
I think
around.
again that welcome. We'll go back to Kev. Let's welcome Salamatu. Salamatu, thank you for joining us.
My lady
Uh,
needs looking found.
I think Isaac, we should also understand here, which is important. Maybe you guys may say this here. I mean, you and Dr. P, you and Dr. Richard say, for Kev Hassan to be the person to give the breaking news.
But this is this
And
the
now the
first time
whole
standing?
world,
This,
no. Now the whole world just learned that the government have accepted that CPP will be having a rally.
and
The
people be
government have
messaging me.
rejected the 1,005.
Since I
Everyone,
asked my question, people be messaging me. How can say it was illegal for any other any organization to go there? They would see people would not have any rally and everything. So his position has shifted 180 degrees.
okay, so let hear for Kev. But Kev, I would say kudos to the government. I think this is a right step in the right direction while we're about
Right.
to move on this topic. I think attacking CPP rally, who have been one of the greatest mistake ever. So I would say thank God that the government stepped in to allow them. If what you are saying is confirmation that this CPP group going to have the rally, but again, let me bring a twist to this real quick. We just heard from one of the permanent opposition, right? He in the person of Councillor Gonglo. Let's listen to what he said.
Change. I would never associate with any demonstration led by Louis Brown, especially when it comes to the suffering of the Liberian people. I consider him to be one of the origins of the suffering that Liberian people are enduring. So I'm not going to be part of that December 17th demonstration or protest that is led by Louis Brown. We have to be clear about fighting for change. We cannot support those who are flip-flop, who are like chameleons. They change. I strongly believe if President George Weah were to make Louis Brown Minister of State today, he will accept it. If they were to even make him Minister of Information today, he will accept it. We cannot follow people like that. We should make it clear that people like that are not agents of change. As people may consider this statement to be in support of the government, no. I'm an agent of change, of transformation of our society. But I want to be very clear that people who would betray the cause of the people can never be.
Man, And let me start with Salamatu. This is horrible. This is big. From a presidential candidate, Gunglu.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
Mr. Gunglo, Councilor Gunglo, saying that we will play this thing again, La Liberian. He said, hell no. Louis Brown shouldn't be the face. Hell no. He created suffering in Liberia. Hell no. If George Weah offered him a position, he would take it. How dare you to tell me Louis Brown should champion this with tired suffering riding? Salama to talk to us.
okay. Thanks again, Stanton. Hello, Dr. Richardson, Kath, and Iva. I respect Councilor Gunglo. I've worked with him. Very, a man with integrity. He's running for president. He has an opinion. He has every right to decide if he does not want to join the peaceful protests. But sometimes when I listen to people from a different generation, sometimes the words they use, I can understand why they feel that way. Number one, he keeps saying demonstration. It's not a demonstration. This is a peaceful protest against issues. He also personalized it. Oh, Minister Brown is the face of this. But Minister Brown is not the face of anything. Minister Brown may be the one who is speaking out a little more, but it would be nice for us to hear more from people like Councilor Gonglo on the issues that Liberians are facing. Two, I like to remind people, I recently started learning a lot about Dr. Martin Luther King. And every time I hear people resist protests, it reminds me of what he went through. Martin Luther King was not loved when he was alive. Every time he wanted to do protests, there were black people telling him, man, stay out of the thing. We'll figure our way around. You won't belong here. And if anybody think I'm lying, just go read the letter from Birmingham. The letter from Birmingham that you always see people quoting, about more than 10 of the quotes that you see people referring to, it comes from that letter. And that letter is an example of, you know what? Yeah, there are issues in Liberia. We can't forget. There are bad governance that's happening. People are dying, and there's no explanation.
What's the issue with governor saying? We have issue with governor saying that. Louis Brown shouldn't be the face of this rally.
But Louis Brown isn't the face of it. We need people like Councilor
Brown announced the rally.
Yeah, but let him come up. Let him come up and be the face.
Is not the face.
But let him come up and be the face.
Why not come standing to say yes? Let's go for the retired suffering rally. Why Louis Brown should be the face?
Oh, wait a minute. No. Yeah,
the issue is that Louis Brown is the face, and Louis Brown shouldn't, because he created a suffering for the Liberian people. We can play the clip again, and that's a good argument.
No.
We understand why. I said, I beg you, but man, we come to you. Let start about to finish.
Yeah, we understand what Councilor Conclo is saying. However, there are other people who are promoting this rally. Louis Brown happened to be maybe the loudest of all of them. And that people like Councilor Conclo who is making Louis Brown the face of the protest. Louis Brown is not the face of the protest. Anybody that got some sense, we understand that this is about bad governance. So nobody's stopping Councilor Gonglo for joining the opposition. It was started by the CPP. It was started by
the opposition. Did they invite Councilor Gonglo? We got to move on to the matter. We'll be back to you. I will keep Ava for last on this one because that's his party, and Ava and Louis Brown. Let me go to you first, and we'll go to Dr. Richardson. We'll end with Ava. Kev. The statement for Councilor Gonglo.
First of all, let me say this: it was not a shift on the government on the protest / assemble days. The government always allow people to protest. But let me say this: Solomon too. 1963, Birmingham. There was an attack, and there were children was killed and murdered in Birmingham. Are you telling me in 1963 those people who killed those children should be the face of the revolution of Black people in 1963 in Birmingham? You just go to it. I just want to tell you that In
Caesar,
19
can I respond to him?
in
Let him
in
finish.
in,
I
in
agree with
19
that.
in 1963. Stop joking.
Okay. So let me say
Don't
this to you. No,
listen,
no, no.
listen,
Let me
listen,
respond to
listen.
that.
No, no, listen, let's go into history. Are you telling me Louis Brown should be the face of ANC while he took part in the
Are you
suffering
done?
of the Liberian people? Hold on, my sister. Hold on.
You asking me a
We
question.
no, listen. We can we have to get together the 16. We'll talk that. Hold on. Let me say this to you. Yes, 17. Yes. 1963 in Birmingham, 3 children was murdered and burned in the house. Dr. Richardson, you know that. Do you think the revolution of black people in America should take the face of those who burned the children and kill them? That's what Tawal Bungalow is saying. I expected you and Ivor to stand up, not accept Louis Brown. Because you know why? Because you guys make the face of ANC as a party of of looking at or bringing forth the suffering of the Liberian people, especially during the war. For y'all, both for y'all, to come out and say it doesn't matter that Louis Brown, even though his act and suppressing freedom of speech while he was information minister and put the face of the ANC, and you want to bring the children who was murdered in Birmingham?
So give a chance, Kev, because we got to go to Dr.
You got
Richardson
to
and
straighten
Isaac.
that. Check your
So,
history.
so
Okay,
Kev,
you
give her a
finished?
chance.
The face of the children in
Kev Hassan.
1963.
Kev
Don't
Hassan,
go
give her a chance. Senator Matthew, you get 30 seconds
Okay,
to
number
reply,
one,
please.
the letter to Birmingham was a response to some clergymen who told Dr. King he had no business putting him off in what was happening in Birmingham. The letter to Birmingham was not just about children getting killed. It was about injustice in Birmingham. The letter to Birmingham
just
was
with my kids.
about wait now,
Just
wait,
with my kids.
no, you go, no, my brother, go read your
Just
history.
with my kids. Louis
Kev,
Brown
hold on. Let
cannot
you
make
speak.
that
Why you
letter.
talking as for your kids? Let me finish.
Kev, let the lady speak.
Yeah, the
Just
letter
with
to
my kids.
Birmingham. Wait, the letter to Birmingham was about racial injustice. Was about people being prevented, black people being prevented from voting,
A
black people
murder
being
of children.
Let
Kev
me
Hassan,
finish.
give the woman
Yeah,
a chance to
yeah,
speak,
man.
please.
That's what it was about. So in total, the letter to Birmingham was actually written by the Southern Christian leadership to Martin Luther King, who was in Atlanta. When he decided to go to Birmingham, the clergymen, the white clergymen told him, you know what? This is our business here. You ain't got no business coming here. We don't want to hear from you. Dr. King was considered a troublemaker, and you might not come here. We
So
will deal
let
with
that
our
guy,
issues.
I understand. Thank you
Yeah,
for
no,
that
no, no,
clarification.
but no,
We're going to
Cesar, let
go
me
to the
finish
last,
because
yeah,
You,
but
he making it seem
no,
as if somebody comparing Louis Brown to Martin Luther
I
King.
understand. So
Yeah,
Louis
no,
Brown
we're
is a new
comparing
Martin
the
Luther King.
situation.
So Louis
see,
Brown is a Martin Luther King. Let's move
That
on now.
Louis Brown is not no Martin Luther King.
Oh,
Louis
okay,
Brown is
okay.
Louis Brown.
Okay, let's bring it back to
you.
Richardson. Then from okay, hold on, my man. Let everybody get a piece of the pie. Dr.
Like,
Richardson.
like Sadamatu said, Tewan Gonglo is entitled to his opinion. He's a Liberian, and he is entitled to select his hero, just as anybody else in Liberia is entitled to select a hero. We know, just as he's arguing against Louis Brown, some people might argue against Tewan Gonglo as well. He he was in Amos Sawyer's government. They started this party, uh, Liberian People Party. I believe that was the party that started. And some people can even argue that he was a supporter of Sawyer, who was also on a good on a governance commission, and we'll ask. We are still suffering from good governance issues. We can ask, what recommendations did he make to Sawyer, considering that he was so close to him? Some people might argue that he was in Ellen's government, and they can argue you were there. And some people also blame Ellen for our problems in our country as well. So, I find it interesting that everybody tend to take sides. And at one point, we all got to say, all of us Liberians hold some responsibility to the way that our country is at different levels. So that's the point that I have to make. I mean, one person terrorist is one person hero. That's a famous thing.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I beg you, can I
Wow.
ask one question
I
of
beg you.
Kev?
I beg you. I
No,
beg you.
let
I
Kev
beg you.
answer
No,
one
let's bring in
question.
Isaac. We'll come back to you and Kev. Let's bring in Mr. Topa. Go ahead, Isaac. You are muted. You are muted.
I personally like Councillor Gonglo, but he is totally off base with this. He's expressing his personal sentiment at the expense of the people and the reality. Go back and listen to everything he has been saying since he decided to want to be president and to try to speak out. Like somebody else said, he worked with previous government before. He has. This is not strange territory to the councillor. So we understand where he's coming from, when he got issues with somebody. But to talk about Louis Brown being a face per se, or he following Louis Brown, no, this is a CPP effort. This is an opposition effort. This is a Liberian people who are tired suffering effort. So for him to make it sound like it's just a Louis Brown thing, that minimizes the cause that people are standing for, the issues that they are trying to push, and everything like that. So I think Councillor Gonglo, he has some personal issues with Louis Brown, no doubt. He blames Louis Brown for certain things, but there are many people who have been involved in the negatives, the evil part, the everything of our society that are still in society today simply because some of us who wanted a war crimes court, our wish have not been established. Hopefully with a communist government, a war and economic crimes court will be fully established. Then the next thing is, Councillor Gongo talked about transformation and change as well. So are you saying you are not trying to change these people who you looked at before as whatever they were, or they have not been having an epiphany and are moving from that sore to that poor situation? So people can change, people can metamorphose into something different? So I'm surprised that Councillor Gonglo will come off in that respect and let his personal emotion, speak for him, as opposed to trying to be presidential, speak to the larger picture, and even become a part of this rally. And most likely he can be the face. Nobody has stopped him. We want everybody in the opposition, everybody who's on the fence, and even people who are with the ruling party who feel that this system is to their disadvantage. The promises that George we have made, but we will not cry, he will wipe our tears. He will not let us, be rejected at the hospital because we don't have the money. He would let us be a part of our own economy. We will not be treated as second-class citizens. All those promises, if you give me a chance, I will play one little song for you for 3 minutes so you can hear those promises, Stanton. It makes no sense for Councillor Gonglo to come in that direction.
But Councillor Gonglo, if you listen to this further, Isaac, Councillor Gonglo is saying it's a good thing.
Huh?
But Councillor Gonglo, we're going to play the rest of this recording from Councillor Gonglo. But his argument is that Louis Brown shouldn't be the man.
But because Louis Brown has a press conference, so he talks about it.
Who made Louis Brown the face?
Excuse me?
Who decided? Who said Louis Brown?
Councillor Gonglo.
No. So who gave the announcement of the retire protest?
The comments make Louis Brown the face.
Who listen? Who gave the announcement of this retire?
Louis Brown is an information person.
But hold on, Stephen.
Isaac. Who gave the announcement?
The way I kept getting our announcement today about the youth and sports. So he the spokesperson for the government. He the face of the government.
Isaac, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Who gave the announcement of the retire protest? Retire suffering rally. Who gave that announcement?
Louis Brown made the announcement.
Louis Brown made the announcement.
Yes.
Who's going all around on radio? Louis Brown.
No,
Who
he's not the
came
only
first
one.
one?
No, he's
let me
not the only
finish,
one.
man.
There's
Brother.
a retinue. There's a retinue of
Yeah.
people
Brother,
who are
brother,
going against.
Yeah, no,
brother.
see, you're not being fair. He's
Brother,
not the
brother.
only one.
But let me,
He's
let me,
not the
okay,
only one.
Y'all will correct me, but can I speak small tonight? Yeah. Louis Brown is the engineer. He's the brain. He's everything to this retire protest.
Oh, hold up.
But
But you see,
I beg for time,
He's
though.
not
But
the-
I
he's
beg
not
for
the
time.
brain.
I can't let you say wrong thing like that.
But I said, tell your pen and paper. Correct me when I finish.
Okay, let me grab up.
Okay, grab your pen and paper small now. Let's hear that. Okay, they put on 1 minute talk. Louis Brown came out with her announcement. Retire protest. Louis Brown fighting the retire protest from day one. Who's the standard bearer of CPP? Who is?
So you want to make Louis Brown a stand-up bearer? You don't want to bring clout in our place?
Hey, go. But when you say you want to grab pen and paper.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Your paper?
I don't want to call if you call it Louis Brown stand-up bearer. I'm not on this.
But you say you are grabbing your paper.
No, I use the computer to take notes. I use the computer to take notes.
Okay, let me say this to you. You know what someone told me today? Louis Brown is projecting himself because he's establishing his base to either become his VP or prepare himself for 2029. The way he speak, like when you talk about Chastedo days, the way Louis Brown used to be LPRC managing director, former national advisor or security advisor to the president, that fire burn, that way they carry that Chastedo, they imitate Chastedo to be forceful. That's the Louis Brown. He served in that capacity as information minister. Louis Brown ran an election for senator against Geraldine Dole. His vote was over 100,000. Louis Brown is preparing himself, like somebody said today, Kev. If Cummings doesn't make it, Louis Brown is set to the 2029 presidential run. That's what he's doing. Louis Brown is turning to be the face of this ANC CPP. Why Cummings couldn't come out to speak? Why Cummings couldn't be, oh Lord, my 2 minutes, oh yeah, my people, There you go. Okay, my last 15 seconds, I yield it to you. Then we'll listen to Mr. Tupac.
Let me say this. The reason why Tawal Gongo and others talking about it, the reason why people like Costa and everybody, Louis Brown in 2000, I think around 15, 16, he shut down the Voice FM. He shut down the Voice FM because
Voice FM?
Yes, Voice FM that Costa and other were controlling. Was speaking against ills.
So you were shutting down freedom of speech?
Yes, speaking against retire suffering. Under his government. And guess what?
What government was that, Kev?
And guess what? 2000 and 2000.
People can give you a chance to talk small.
That's what I just want to find out more.
He shut down freedom.
I'm sorry, what year was it?
2015, 16.
Don't know about the Salif government when he was information minister.
Under two governments.
Yeah, when she was working at Commerce. Under Mariah government when she was at Labor Ministry.
Mariah government.
Under Tuga McIntosh government when he was to Foreign Ministry.
Louis Brown.
Under Asa Tuga government too. Maybe he was in Madam Sadi government. Put Asa Vade.
No, listen. Isaac was against Louis Brown.
Oh yeah, now you got it.
Oh, again. You guys are personalizing this thing.
He fought against Louis Brown. But let me finish. Louis Brown shut down, and guess what? 24 workers, as we speak, 20 of those workers suffering because of Louis Brown action.
And who government did Taiwan work under again?
They're suffering under Louis Brown
Yeah, just ignore that
government,
one.
the action of Louis Brown. I'm going to say this to you, CEO. I want you to call on. I want you to call on the UP close. Good. I want you to call on Mr. Costa right now. His employee become his employee that at that time were feeding the family. Louis Brown took bread and butter from their mouth. He did that to voice.
Kev, let me hold you there. This is not a laughing thing. It's very serious.
He did that.
Kev, let me hold you for a second. Indeed, our brother Asibai would jump all over you on this one, but it is true. Under Louis Brown, when he was serving as information minister, those places were shut down.
And took food out of
people
people's
went
mouth.
home. People went home hungry, crying. Some of them have turned to be begging for bread. So
Yes,
when
sir.
Pastor Tewon Gonglo speaking, there's a reason why he's speaking. And I have given you the chance, as if I Sadamatu, Dr. Richie said, this is absolutely true. You guys going to deny it tonight? It didn't happen. I say you go first.
Thank you. I'm not here to defend Louis Brown. Okay, that's not the issue. The issue here is Louis Brown has a right to participate in a rally. Louis Brown has a right to voice and make an announcement about a rally. Louis Brown is a part of Team Cummings. He was on the list. And Mr. Cummings believes that every Liberian is redeemable.
Sorry. As somebody is talking in the back, though, can we mute somebody's voice?
It could be my beautiful wife. Honey, can you lower your voice, please? I think I'm a beautiful wife for speaking.
Thank you. Make that announcement on the air. The other people will hear it. Go ahead.
But all Liberians can hear it. But I pray for my wife all the time. All Liberians they know her. When they see her in the street, they can greet her. My man, yeah. So as I was saying, look, they're making this thing personal. Just how he say I was fighting Louis Brown. I never fought Louis Brown. I fought the institution of the presidency and the government at the time from 2006 or let's say 2007, 2008 when Ellen government started turning corrupt up to the time the CDC was elected. I get a CDC couple of years when they couldn't change with all my internal fighting for 2 years. I started going against the CDC publicly. So it's not about individuals. Yes, I understand Mr. Gonglo angst, his anger, his frustration, his vexation, wherever. But at the end of the day, this is about the people. And if you believe in transformation,
so let me ask you a question, Isaac. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know now, going back into history under Madam Salif leadership,
right?
Why you, Aziva, the Cummings team, allow Louis Brown to give that announcement?
Okay, so you got to give credit to Louis Brown that he has some oratorical skills, right? You got to give him that. You got to give him whatever dispensation, disposition, mindset you're coming with. Louis Brown has a certain cachet that he brings to the table. Okay? He has the ability to stand in the face of fire and speak truth to power. Whether he spoke lies to power before or whatever, he has the capability to do that. So with the right set of rules around him, the right structure, Louis Brown can operate.
But don't you think that was a mistake on your part? I said, don't do this to us. Don't you think you guys were in error? Louis Brown shut down Love FM, shut down Voice FM, shut down everything Costa tried to do. Probably he was there when they were jailing Costa, and everything is on his record. And at the end of the day, so Mr. Tuba, let me finish with this now. At the end of the day, though, he never thought that the Liberian people were suffering then. Let me go back to Councilor Tewon Gonglo recording. You created this suffering. You suppressed the people before. Now you turn it to be an angel, fighting now and say we tired of suffering. Why you guys allow it? Didn't you guys know that maybe the receptionist would have been a better person to announce
No,
this
we
retire
can't. We can't.
suffering?
We can't run. We can't run away from these things. Stanton, we
No,
cannot
you
run
can't run away
away
from this
from the
thing, my brother.
reality.
But he's not
Again,
a red man. He's not a fake.
today, if President Weah say yes, let's have a war economic crimes court. Louis Brown name is on the list. Let him go. I will support it. I'm very clear on those things. I will support the war economic crimes court.
All right,
Daniel
my
Chair
brother.
is there. He needs additional further investigation. He's not accused of anything yet. He needs further investigation. Let them investigate him.
So why you guys allow Louis Brown to have all this baggage on him? Now you're allowing him to say we tired suffering. The people saying that, listen, you're not tired suffering. You send people home, make them jobless, make them a beggar today. Then you tell him that we tired suffering. You're trying to come and defend them. It's all pretense. But let me bring our
But the comparison you're making, Paul.
No problem. And I'm making that comparison because of what Louis Brown did.
Because this is the economy that people can find jobs, even scrap jobs. People can find it today.
But my brother, when the people had a job, your Louis Brown took it from them.
Well, you won't call him your Louis Brown. You won't put it. You
When
won't
the
put
people
any
had a job,
qualifier on it.
your Louis Brown took it from them,
fine.
and that's exactly what's happening now. He called it retired riding. But let's go to our sister Salamatu. Salamatu, the same question to you. Knowing everything you know today, you understand that you cannot deny the people from working, take food from the mouth, and now you say, I'm going to stay on the street with you and say, we tired suffering. That's being a hypocrite, though.
Okay, but you know what? Again, that's something personal against Louis Brown. Two, let me say this.
But no. You're not asking for this one. You're not asking for the one. You said that's something personal against Louis Brown.
Yeah,
is it true or is that true? Is it true? Did he shut down other radio stations?
Yeah, he did. I was in Liberia.
So
I was in Liberia.
No, go to Let's say yes with no stuttering.
Yes, he did.
So he shut down.
But when I see, you think that's not something I can kind of lie about.
No,
he did.
I understand.
He shut it down. He was wrong for shutting it down.
No, don't be fast for it. Let's take our time. Let the people understand us now. He shut it down. How many radio stations he shut down?
Honestly, I don't know how many he shut down. But I know No, wait. You asked me a specific question. I was in Liberia when Louis Brown said him, I closed the radio station, blah, blah, blah. We say he was wrong, okay? He was wrong. Whether he shot 1, 2, 3, he was wrong, all right? Now, outside of that, we have spent 10 minutes talking about Louis Brown. 10 minutes talking about Louis Brown. We didn't talk about the issue. The issue why somebody sat in a room and decided, you know what? It's time for the people to get on the street and voice their grievances against the president. We haven't talked about all the bad governance. Kev wants to hear and talk about Louis Brown being the bad face of a protest. He wants it on here when they were making deals with Prince Johnson for the election. Prince Johnson wasn't bad at the time. We have a legislature. Let's remind people when we ready to be pointing finger at some of our people we don't like that did certain things in the government that we don't like. Let's remind Kev that PYJ was seen on TV, on video, killing, torturing a former president. PYJ was elected. He's in our legislature. Knowing all of this, NCDC jump in bed with him? Or we might forget I want to.
So
let's speak to the issue.
So you asked a good question.
Look, I wanted to ask a question. You let me ask my question. In Kev's beautiful world, who would he select to be the face of this protest?
Okay. I will come in before Kev. I beg you, my sister, Sadamadi.
Yeah, and you too. You answer the question, please.
That's a good question concerning Prince Johnson. But knowing everything we know, the very Alexander Cummings contributed to Prince Johnson and gave him money. Was he in error? Knowing everything,
no, you're missing my point.
No.
My point is, there's a lot of people in Liberia with dirty hands. There's a lot of people who need to go to jail. There's some people who don't need to be in government that we jump in bed with. We're sitting here talking about the issues in Liberia. You guys have decided Louis Brown that the protest.
I think the new the new breed of ANC now. They're
not ANC.
Let me say this to you, Kev. I want to go to Dr. Richardson before I come to you. I'm begging you.
No, I don't.
Who is
Can
who?
I,
I beg you.
no,
Hey, I
I don't
beg
want
you.
to change this before you go to Dr. Richardson. I don't want
Yeah,
to
but I
change.
on the same thing. Let me answer something. I'm not going to
Go
Dr.
ahead.
Richardson. I'm coming to you. Who
Okay.
is the head of the CPP, the ANC tag team? Who's the head?
Mr. Cummings, but let me say this to
No,
you.
no, no. The ANC team Cummings. Who's the head?
It's Louis Brown.
It's
Louis
Louis
Brown.
Brown.
Louis Brown. Yeah, yeah. But let me say this.
Let me, Kev, slow down, I beg you. Let me drive to watch something. You know about CPP brother and sister on the show. They just don't want to hear this. The fact remains is that Louis Brown cannot be poor overnight. Louis Brown should take responsibility of what he did to the Liberian people going back to Tewangonglo State. Because
And
the
do what?
governor was right.
No,
How should he take
That's the
responsibility?
CEO,
Go ahead, talk to
let me
us.
say this to you. And I want to talk to Iva. Iva, you have to school your surrogates that will come out on the platform, a big platform to talk about Mr. Cummings. You have to school them. You have to let them know, because if my dear friend Salimatu, we have a party that we're going to on the 17th. We will hang out. We hang out a couple of weeks ago. I don't think they're doing justice to the ANC. You're talking about Prince Johnson. Stanton Witherspoon is right. How will you talk about Prince Johnson that Horst Tenor went to Prince Johnson, seek Prince Johnson support, and gave him money, 25G for his school, and she referencing Prince Johnson.
When did he do it?
Prince
There you
Johnson.
go. Come on, don't do that, Ashley.
There you go.
I
Ivan.
think-
When?
Ashley,
When?
in the name of
Ivan,
Jesus, Son, the Holy Spirit, don't do it. I beg you, don't do it, Ashley. How about you ask me to
He has said admitted to it.
I said when?
He has said admitted to it.
When?
The man did it before. I know why the man asked him. The man asked him because he did it before sanction time. So they will not go after comment.
Listen,
They will not go after comment. Leave that one. Go ahead, Kev.
Cummings admitted to that. He admitted to that he gave him money. So that's cool. We're not going to go through that. But but
Kev, can I
no,
hold Kev there for
wait.
1 second?
Let me finish.
Okay, finish.
What I'm telling you is that don't get your surrogates out here on the big platform with the seasoned people on the platform with great heart, know the issues, and talk about Mr. Cummings, talk about Prince Johnson. The stenographer were trying to sleep with with Prince Johnson politically, but it didn't. It didn't happen. So if she was in my camp, I would be texting her, step down, don't do that. But I don't know if you do have her number. You have to help her, because Mr. Cummings tried to go around, soliciting people, and Prince Johnson was one of them. And Prince Johnson said it, and Cummings confirmed it. But that is not the case. The case we trying to talk about here is that how can a face of retired suffering, the men that suffer people? I don't think we have the ANC. If I were with ANC, I would call a meeting and say no, Louis Brown should stay in the back. I would do that, because he
So
cannot
let's give Asen that to
he cannot be
we
the face.
we gotta move on.
He cannot be the face of people who home right now cannot feed the family because of him.
Yeah, Kev.
All right.
You know what? I think
can we go now?
I beg you very quick. I gotta bring it down
Very
to
quickly.
very quick. Yeah.
Very quickly.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
The
ahead.
reason why I asked for time, Mr. Cummings did this in 2016, 2017. Prince Johnson was a candidate running. Mr. Cummings did not give the money to Prince Johnson. He gave it to the school. So what support was he seeking from Prince Johnson at the first wrong premise that you're operating on? The second premise is
No, but you gotta listen to us. We said he gave Prince Johnson money. We didn't say he was seeking support.
no,
We said
Kev
he
said
gave
it.
Prince
No,
Kev
Kev
said
said
it.
it.
Kev
Said
just
it.
said
He
it.
said he was
Okay,
trying to
the
get
wrong
in
premise
bed
you're on.
politically.
Yes.
He said it.
I said, call Kev's name. Don't say your.
Okay, but right now
Yeah.
grouping your they see where you're grouping all ANC people are grouping your too. So
And I can tell you why he tried to get in bed politically. I can tell you why.
Kev,
So go ahead.
Kev, you already said your stuff. You shot your shot.
Yeah,
So
I said
what I'm trying to say is you can have that opinion. Again, that's why I love democracy, because we're in a marketplace of ideas and opinions. Kev feel Louis Brown's going to be in the back. You probably feel the same way. Gonglo feel he not even so he the face he not so going to be there. I feel the opposite way. I feel every Liberian has the right to rally, to participate, to lead, to do whatever. It's up to those receiving the message. If the Liberian people feel today they're not suffering, this government has made promises to them that the government are keeping, and everything is fine, they stay home. Louis Brown basically said exactly the same thing. Let them stay home. For those who are concerned about the current governance situation, the corruption, the lack of opportunity, the lack of medical treatment, the lack of proper education,
I say you
let
let
them
the
come
lecture.
and
I say
explain
you
their
let.
suffering.
I say you let the lecture.
Theo,
Let me tell you this. Yeah.
Theo, I want to ask
Real quick,
Isaac.
we gotta bring Dr. Richardson in real quick.
Yeah, I
Brother.
want to ask you a question. Maybe a contrary to what we're discussing, but I want him to say that. Isaac, when you try to seek a minister of agriculture and lobby
No, we come
around,
to that. We come to that. We come to that.
yeah,
I said do not
yeah,
answer.
I agree.
I said do not answer. I want us to finish this topic. Dr.
I would
Richardson.
love to answer that question.
Yeah,
I'll wait.
I'm
I
begging.
want to.
Yeah.
I want to just make a disclaimer. I know Tiawan Gonglo. He's a friend of my family. So me speaking about his, involvement in aliens government is just the fact. Okay. And I also want to say that I agree with everyone that spoke about Liberians having the right to participate, to organize, to assemble. That is a constitutional right. I also want to say that Mr. Gonga is entitled to his opinion. If he feels like is opposed to this rally, that is his right. That is something that he's entitled to. Just as the people who asked Louis Brown to speak for them, and the people who we are calling in ANC, CPP, USA, CPP, Liberia, the people that we are calling to come to this rally, it is their right to come as well. In Liberia, we have the case of somebody hero is another person's terrorist, or somebody terrorist is another person's hero. That is the case that we have right now in Liberia. Until we have a TRC that can be revisited and have everybody assessed on a case by case basis using some historical perspective, this is Liberia that we have right now. Okay, that is Liberia that we have. The case is hero is somebody's terrorist. Somebody's terrorist is somebody's hero. Now, I have a question though. Yes, Tio Gunga is going around sweeping corruption, and I said that before he was in Ellen's government. Some people can argue that she shouldn't be the face of any kind of equality conference which she was just at recently. Somebody can say she shouldn't be the face of any kind of women empowerment because of her history. Somebody can argue that. Just like somebody can argue that Theo Gonglo is going around sweeping corruption, but his sister, Edith Gonglo, was involved in allegations brought by the Eden government of misappropriating the county development fund. So, that misappropriation took food away from the Nima people. It took development away from the Nima people. Have I heard Tiawan Gonglo speaking against corruption that happened with the county development fund in the superintendent's office under Ellen government? I have also spoken to you. Tiawan Gonglo served as a solicitor for Ellen's government. He also served as Minister of Labor for Ellen's government. Should he now be the face of someone to change corruption when we know Ellen admitted to corruption being a cancer in her government. And by the way, as I'm in right now, uh, we are government also shut down Custer Station. We saw that live. So, we are government not be the face of freedom of speech and freedom of press as well. Should we talk about that as well? I'll be glad to speak about that if you want us to do that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson.
Yeah, but see, the man answer my question. Oh, yeah, even making noise plenty.
The man say y'all will meet when y'all go for
No. Let him make the making. Oh yeah, he called me a surrogate. He said he's seasoned. So please, I beg you, let him ask me who he think should be the face of our protest. Two, he talking about Louis Brown taking food off of somebody's table. We have our president and I leave our country for 50 something days. Ain't will be 50 something days when he gone. Yeah, for 30 days. We had the same government.
You guys say the truth. The president didn't leave for 50 something days.
Okay, he been gone for 30 something.
It's 39 days. 39 days now. 39 days.
Yeah, it will reach 50 something days. Trust me.
But you explain again. One more letter coming. You explain.
Yeah, when he talked about people taking food off of people's table, where was the president when his people who were sanctioned by the U.S. government for bribing people in Liberia, for heavy corruption, they got some of them on tape. Where was he? The people who are supposed to be creating jobs for the young people in Liberia. Instead, they were dismantling our institution, such as the PPCC. They were taking contracts for themselves without going through any process. Money was getting misappropriated. The civil servants haven't gotten paid. And we're talking about Louis Brown taking food off of people's table. There's plenty of blame to go around of people who are taking food off of people's table. So, Mr. Seasoned spoon calf, yeah, this woman is not a surrogate. I'm not a surrogate. I am a member of LP and I support the CPP. I support it 110% because I believe in good governance. That's the only way we can move Liberia forward. And unfortunately, your government that came into power that a lot of young people have hope for, they haven't done them right. They haven't given them jobs. They're taking food out of the table. Civil servants are still looking for their pay.
So that's it.
So I can answer.
Yeah, go ahead. We got to move from it. Let's settle
yeah,
this
let
thing.
me just have some
I will give my final opinion. And, I said I would not like it, but
yeah, let's move on. So Salamatu, thank you for saying you're not a surrogate of Mr. Cummings. I think he need more surrogate. I thought you was one, but thank you for not being part of his scam for being surrogate.
But Kev, the slot open for you. Come be surrogate.
No, listen. I have my side. I'm glad and will be a surrogate for this government, and I want to be surrogate for this government because I think we're on the right path. But again, I respect my sister Salamatu. She cannot be a surrogate for a failed party. She's right. She's a seasoned woman. She decided to not be surrogate, and I'm happy.
What is next topic?
I'm happy she's not a surrogate. And she also asked the question, who will be the face? Salamatu, let me tell you, the face of the ANC should be the face of Musa Ability, Wade Power, and them. You know why? When Musa Ability and Wade Power was the face, and I will say this to you, I think it was a good look. I think it was a good looks for the ANC. But with the sideline Wade Power and Musa Ability and others, that was a big mistake for Mr. Cummings. Big mistake. Because Musa Ability and Wade Power do represent a decent side. So when you ask me the face, I will, if I was in the ANC, I will, if they get a face, let me tell you this.
This
when
is
Musa first said,
CPP.
so
Kev,
let's move on,
CPP.
Kev. Let's move on real quick. Let's do this. While we have the our sister Salamatu, Dr. Richardson, and Isaac on the show. Today, something surprising happened. The reason why I want us to discuss this, we'll come back to the other issue, Isaac, was that we had Louis Brown on the show last Friday or Saturday, I think. And Louis Brown kept asking a question. Do you believe in the spoon pool? And Louis Brown said, well, they are not scientific. No, I read it done. What is answer? But when the guys go out there, I really don't know. We don't send them to do these things randomly. Let's go back and play some of what was done today. I want to ask you, you serve as chief of staff under Mr. Cummings, Isaac. Is this concerning to Mr. Cummings? When he turned on his radio, his Facebook page, and listened to folks, Liberians speaking, from most of the area in Liberia, and hearing who will you vote for comes 2023? George Manawia, Joseph Yemantwaka, Mr. Cummings, Tewongolo. And the answer, if you ask 20, maybe 2 people will say Mr. Cummings. Let play some of what I saw today. I was taken back. And I was, listen, to tell you the truth, somebody sent it to me, Isaac. I was taking my, and they said, Stanton, are you watching Spawn? I said, what happened? They say Emmanuel Kotu is out there. He's asking folks. So I said, oh, Emmanuel do this thing. He said, no. Emmanuel is in Magibi, somewhere they call Wiela. And I asked, I said, where is Wiela? And he tried to explain it to me. And to my amazement, when I follow it, why people are not calling Mr. Cummings' name? Are they afraid? Is it a secret? Does that mean that you guys have to double up every time since January of this year when we went to Liberia? We asked Mr. Cummings. He said, we got work to do. But it's almost 12 months. Why the name Alexander Benedict Cummings? It's not in the mouths of Liberians. Let me play this video. Now, I really want to give you 2 minutes to speak on this, Mr. Va. Let's play this video. James, can you please play this, James? The opinion poll.
And so in Wiala here, we spoke to 25.
About Jawia.
Why Jawia?
About Jawia because he now him president for the country. When select the president for the country. For him to develop our country be very hard because we are already developed in our start development, so we can vote for him to develop our country back.
All right, thanks for talking to me. Your name again?
My name is Christian Richard.
All right, so while the ladies running away from the microphone, they want to I'm a candidate. Okay, let me speak to this. How are you?
Fine.
My man, you 18-year-old?
Yes.
Where are you?
Azariah Thomas.
Azariah, which year you were born?
Lovematon in 2003.
Okay, so you'll be the first-time voter, right?
Yeah.
So when you go to vote for the presidency, George Weah, Bwaka, Alice Cummings, and Tiwan, who you vote for?
I vote for Joseph Bwaka.
Why are you voting for Joseph Bwaka?
Because he is our president of PP before.
Oh, you were PP before?
Yes.
Okay, what about the Senate? You have Nathaniel Mankio, Emmanuel Giddings. You also have Bala Sese, Clarija, and Mr. Robertson, former superintendent. Who you vote for?
I vote on Bala Sese.
Why you voting for Bala Sese?
Because he come to develop our area with the minister.
Oh, okay, you're the minister, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, I had the one, long time, daytime, orange data, buy a mini?
Yes.
All right, thank you for talking to me, yeah?
Okay.
Let me do the woman, she had it, but she didn't want to talk. You didn't want to talk? Anything you want to talk to me? All right, they said they don't want to talk. Let's move forward quickly to the other side, and let's see, we are here. Yeah, we're coming. Let me speak to the other one side. Let me speak to this man here. All right. Okay, let me brother, how are you? Okay, so my name is Emmanuel Kodu. Can I talk to you, please, from Spawn TV? Okay, I'm Emmanuel. What's your name?
Mason.
Mr. Mason, you are a driver. How is the business going here?
I will tell what, thank you.
All right, so looking at the current situation, you're running in Magibi here. Do you also live in Magibi here?
Yes.
All right, so we're asking the question, if today was election day, and you have Emmanuel Giddings, you have Robertson, you have Clarissa Balasese. Who will you vote for to be the next senator of Akibi County?
I vote for Balasese.
Why Balasese?
Because I just like it.
All right, what about the presidency? George Weah, Bwaka, and Alexander Cummings with Tier 1 Conglo. Who will you vote for?
You said,
For presidency, for the president, Joseph Bwaka, George Opon Weah, Alexander Cummings, and that of Tier 1 Conglo. If today was election day, who you will vote for?
I will vote for Joseph Wanga.
Why are you voting for Bwaka?
God loves me.
All right, thanks for talking to me, yeah? All right, thank you so much, Chief. Okay, so he's a driver.
We want to play the rest of them, but because of time, let's just discuss this thing. You can go ahead on the Spoon page and watch the rest of the clip. I hope we get Isaac by with us, Mr. Toba.
Yeah.
But it's from 1 week to another week, a month to another month. The name Cummings. You'd be lucky you hear only 2 people saying Cummings. Why so?
I really believe it's a combination. It's about educating the people. You can see the reasons why people say they're voting. None of those reasons are substantive, except the one for Bala Zeze or whatever his name is. Oh, he come and develop, you know. So it's a combination of exposure. It's a combination of education. It's a combination of our team applying more effort and breaking down. You see, most of our people, unfortunately, don't know civics. They don't know how to assess presidential or legislative candidates to make their decision. So there is always a tough sell when you have the best candidate, who is Mr. Cummings. If you look at exposure, you look at education, you look at accomplishments, you look at management skills, you look at what he brings to the table, you look at the network, you look at the experience in managing, in being, from a financial perspective, understanding the economy, managing budgets. He aces all those areas. But how we communicate it to the people is important. That's why the door-to-door, the Jehovah Witness kind of mobilization is what's necessary for us. And surprisingly, we are doing a lot of that. We are getting into areas that people don't even know about. And we're not putting all our mobilization pictures on TV. You know, just going to the urban area and doing a survey, to me, is not a full reflection. But we are doing a lot of work. We are putting a lot of time in. Do we have more to do? Yes, this is election. We got to focus on understanding what NEC is doing, being able to encourage people to get out there and register to vote first, because most likely the people you encourage to register are the people who will vote for you. So it's not a small task. It's not an easy task, but we are up to it.
At the end of the day, let's go to the result. Let's watch the result. Then we'll go to our sisters there, because this is troubling for the CPP camp.
And so in Wiala here, we spoke to 25 persons for the presidency. Yeah, 25 persons. And of the 25 persons, George Manuia came up with 13 votes. You know, we did 2 recording. The first live recording, we had some technical issues, so we started from the first recording. Yeah, so no, let's do the one that they're watching right now. Let's do that one first. Let's do the one that they're watching right now. I calculated all because we started with it. So the both videos. Okay, no, so it's a John video. No, we can't do the John video because, sorry guys, I have to say this one for my election commission here, that this is what the people watch. They want the people watch. The one that is uploading, they will watch that video and make their own determination. Yes. So they want to watch in we are like the numbers that we spoke to, how many persons we spoke to here. But we are like we saying that's the 2 videos, so we got 13. Okay, I mean you went yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay, we forgot. We went off and we came back on. That's what I'm saying. All right. So we got 25 persons we spoke to for the presidency. George Weah came up with 13 votes. Joseph Bwaga came up with 11 votes. Alexander Cummings 1, Tier 1 Conglo 0. Undecided voters we have.
So Senator Matthew. Alexander Emmanuel was somewhere in Monrovia. Some ANC folks said, "Well, it's not serious. You know, don't talk to us about that." They went as far as Smeno Taste the other day, and somebody said, "Well, it's not serious, you know. How long will you guys be saying this thing? It's not serious. These are live people. They are not dead. They are telling you. The other guy, the driver, said, I just like him, J and B. What is happening to the Comis Kia?
One, I don't know who will be saying it's not serious. Inner sample polling is serious. But we look at some of these things and we look at it as a lesson. It gives us an opportunity as CPP to campaign a little bit more. It gives us an opportunity to really engage the people in these communities. I remember the first time when I saw the polling, my thought was, perhaps maybe if we start asking, follow-up questions, and then we will understand exactly what do people want. What do they want? There are a lot of undecided voters out there, undecided voters out there. There are a lot of people who are not saying anything. There are a lot of people who weren't questioned. It's a small sample, and you can never dismiss any type of sample polling. But if CDC is happy with this, I suggest they must stop campaigning. Let it just stay home, and we'll worry about it, because CDC has not gotten half of the votes in a lot of these counties. As you were talking, I was going back to the election map from the last presidential election, and just looking at, number one, we had about 19 different parties, looking to see how many votes CDC actually got, how much they received. One, how many people actually turned out to vote. The registered voter, it wasn't that high. How many people turned out to vote? How many people actually voted for CDC versus everybody else who did not vote for CDC? So you have those votes hanging out there. CPP, this is not going to be an easy ride for the CPP. It's not. It's not going to be an easy ride for the CPP. If CDC think it's an easy ride for them and they're getting these votes and everybody know their name, hey, I would say let them stay home. We beg you. Y'all have won it. Stay home. We do have work to do. We got work
Thank
to
you.
do. We're doing it. We got plenty of work to do. We agree.
Thank you. Dr. Richardson?
You know, I want to say that I really enjoy when Emmanuel Kotu and the rest of the Spoon family team go out there to assess Liberians. I really like them. They know that I support them. But I think I would be remiss if I didn't speak about sampling and sample size, because this is something that I almost engage in regularly when I have to chair dissertations. So, when you look at a sample size, you have to look at, does it represent the population? Can we generalize what we got, the results we got to a cross section of the population? As Salamatu said that, if you look at the statistics from the prior elections, the sample size that we just saw doesn't quite reflect. What is the margin of error? We often ask when people do these different going out to speak to the public. So, and you notice that Liberia is made out of 52% of women. And in the survey I don't know, survey or poll that it did, there was the women didn't want to speak. Okay. I like to also remind you that Isaac Topa said that we are out there going door to door. And women will use this year, women and first-time voters, they consist of a large population in Liberia, young people. So we have to take that into consideration. Lastly, I would say that, I also look at sample and sampling. I look at the incumbency effect and also the recency effect. McGinn was just in those areas. That's his area, So people remember what he said about the WEA government. That's the incumbency effect. The WEA government is the one that is on TV, that is one that is playing. People are hearing them, so you will remember that, and that's the recent news that you heard. And of course, we have a lot of education, because for somebody to say I'm voting for somebody because I just love them, we welcome those young people, but we will still go out there and meet them and talk to them and find out exactly what it is that will make Liberia a better place for them.
Thank you, Kev.
Sometimes when I listen to the ANC people, it's like they just twisting me so comments. You know, uh, the people out there speaking, the actual Liberian out there speaking, as from as for us, um, the CDC camp, we have one person that we think that is formidable that will go against is JMB. The man who you call Mr. Cummings is no formidable. He's nobody in the political space of Liberia. He's nobody. If I will go against Cummings in the general election, I won't campaign. I won't because he's nobody. The people have spoken. The the spoon polls over and over and over again. The people spoke. Unless people want to twist Mr. Cummings' head, I don't think we should be here debating about Mr. Cummings and this and that. The Unity Party is an established political party as well as a CDC, and we will go against them, and we will win. Mr. Cummings is a waste of time. It's a waste of resources. And anybody who supports Mr. Cummings, they're wasting the time. Or they're tricking Mr. Cummings to eat Mr. Cummings. Let me go into the Liberian way. They're eating the man. They want to eat him. Mr. Cummings is a waste of time. When Mr. Cummings, let me say this. When Mr. Cummings went to the Musa ability and the Wadi power on the CPP, thank you, Ivar. It's not the ANC, I meant the CPP. They had a formidable face. And I will say this: go in Nimba and see Musa ability. It's not joke. Mr. Cummings is a joker.
No, Kevlar watching that. They're not calling a joker. Please. Watch
Okay.
watch the language. I want to respect our political leaders. Yeah, that now we
Okay, how
don't
do this?
we have Isaac
You
and
know why?
Salamati.
You know why I say that? You have people like Wade Power will come on spoon. She will make the case. She's very sound, intelligent, tolerant, and make the case. You have people like Musa Ability making the case. But when Mr. Cummings announced the Team Cummings, I was so happy. I was so happy.
We gotta open the link for
I
our
was
folks
so
to join
happy.
us, Kev.
But let
I
me let
want
me
to end
let,
this. I
let me
want to
just
end
end
this
this
with
to you.
Isaac.
Let
Yeah,
me just
real
end this
quick.
to
I want to
you.
bring
Let me
Isaac
just
in.
end this to you. The day that Mr. Cummings announced Team Cummings, that was a failure. That was the end of Mr. Cummings' campaign. And I would challenge anybody. That's the end of Mr. Cummings'
Thank you. So,
team.
folks, listen, we're about to share our link. After Isaac, we want to invite you, if you can, please be presentable. You can join us. Let's have the last 30 minutes. Listen to the people. We'll open the phone line. We will share our link. You can join us and make your comment. This is everything we discussing today, or what we discussed yesterday on the JMB trip to Nigeria as well. Just talk to us. The weekend. Today is Friday, and let's just have fun for the last 30 minutes. Mr. Tupac, please, on this polling thing, I want to end with you. I started with you. It's concerning. You know, a lot of people when okay, it's not okay, then people say, "What is this?" You know, margin of error. Show some scientific data. You know, in Liberia, we don't do those things. I knock your door. I see my brother. I say, "What's up, my man?" Let's play check up. Who you voting for? You say, "I'm voting for Peter," you know, or "I'm voting for Paul." It is what it is. You know, you got 5,000 people in the community, and you get 25 of them, and only one person say, "I'm voting for Esther." That's troubling. It happened in 2020. Remember when Delon was running against CDC, when he was fighting Thomas Falah. Every time James and the group Emmanuel went out there, the people said Delon. Every time they said Delon. There was nothing mistaken. And all that last day, when Delon was campaigning, James said the ground was shaking because the amount of human being that came out. And look at the result. It proved that what they were saying, it was true. So why some members of the CPP not listening to this and say, well, we are looking for margin of error. Scientific gave us a no. But talk to us, brother. Talk to us.
So let's assume that poll is the truth and how the election will evolve. So what's the expectation now? Mr. Cummings should not compete. He should not go out. You can look at the voters and what they're saying.
He should not compete. Go home.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to say that, Kev. No,
failure.
From your position, you should
He's
say
scared
that.
of. Yeah, but what did it mean scared of?
How will I scared
Yeah, no, all day you on Mr. Cummings' name. If
He
he's
should
a
go
nobody,
It's a
you
waste
should
of
be
time.
hoping that he
Right?
can
Stand
win
up.
into
Stand
the
up.
race.
Time.
What you scared of? Are your money?
I ain't
Are your
scared of
money in your time?
nobody. It's a waste of
Stand
time.
up.
It's a
But are your
waste
money
of
in your
time.
time?
I didn't give my question to fire up the people like they
It's
will.
a
Yeah,
waste
man.
of
No, I
time.
don't understand. The man,
Go
he just saw Mr. Cummings a waste of time. Mr. Cummings a waste of
Waste
time.
of time.
Kev, don't vote for Mr. Cummings. You don't vote for him.
Mr. Cummings get
CDC not
vote.
begging.
Guys,
That means you're not winning.
James, can you
Yeah,
share the
you're not
link?
winning.
Sister Salamatu, let's
Man.
finish our answer.
Okay, yeah, let me mute myself. Mr. Cummings, Mr. Cummings.
Kev, I beg you, we got Kev.
Let Kev be quiet. I was speaking.
Kev, listen, guys, listen, Kev. We got to allow Isaac to finish.
Yeah.
James, can you share the link, the stream link? Isaac, finish up, my brother.
Yeah. So my point is, even if that is the reality, Mr. Cummings came into this competition knowing he can win or he can lose. He subscribed to a framework for the opposition to be one consolidated entity. We saw what happened there. Notwithstanding, I'm one of the biggest advocates for opposition collaboration. I believe there are so many things that we can work on today as opposition. The census, the next schedule, the biometric voter registration, the whole issue of civic education for our people, the monitoring of the National Elections Commission, because everybody already saying the government won't cheat. Because typically we are doing everything not to win the elections. I mean, look at the multiplicity of things that this government is doing, the negligence he's showing, everything. People really believe we are probably doesn't even want to run, or he's undermining his own, potential to win. And that's fine. But for Mr. Cummings is a competitor. Mr. Cummings believes he is the best option. Similarly, many of us and many people in Liberia believe he's the best option. But those who support Mr. Cummings, they will not just show their face easily like that. Come on. There are tribal issues. There are government issues. You guys can say this is the freest democracy since the beginning of Liberia, but people are scared to talk. People are scared to express themselves before they lose their relationship, they lose their business, they lose their jobs. And we can pretend that everything is all right in Liberia, but we know it's not. There's no
Isaac, come on, Mr. Come on, Isaac. You're a wise guy, man. Don't do this.
I'm telling you something
Are you
serious.
saying that the reason people are not calling Mr. Cummings' name because they're afraid to speak? Is that what you're saying?
But I already gave you the scenario. I said, let's take it that it's real. Okay, so Mr. Cummings is at the very bottom. So his role is
I understand. I understood that. What I'm saying to you, One of the reasons why they are not calling the names commies is because they are afraid to speak. They are in government. They will be
You
fired.
saw some people they didn't want to come on screen.
Hold on 1 minute now. But the same other people calling Joseph Boakai name though. 13 of them called Joseph Boakai name. So why you think they are not afraid to call Joseph Boakai name, but they are afraid to call Cummings name?
The same reason why Kev doesn't want Mr. Cummings to be in a race. That's why.
Nah, that's not correct. That's not
I'm telling you.
Listen, let me say this. If you do this thing over and over,
my man, if we got game to play, and the other team will go and play FC and will win easily, we'll cry on the knee and we'll just go play.
So you say UPPC?
I didn't say that.
No,
I'm saying,
no. So you say UPPC?
CDC Kev thinks Mr. Cummings FC. So what are you crying behind Mr. Cummings for? If you say Mr. Cummings, then you worth it. Let Mr. Cummings operate.
Guys, we are on Super TV, Spoon TV, Fabric TV. You can find us by way of the radio station. And again, I want to say we will share the link. Find us on YouTube. Join us now if you want to speak, comment. We'll be opening the phone line, but we are bringing you in live by way of stream. Yeah, please be presentable. Let's have a good conversation in the last 30 minutes. It's up there. You can find the StreamYard link. Just go, if you're on Facebook, just click it. It will direct you. Very easy. That we can have a good conversation tonight. We will open the phone line, but we have to leave from here by 6:30. So we got 34 more minutes to go. Let me say this to you, Isaac. While we folks are now connecting, I can see them in the back. They're connecting to join us. Let leave the comments issue a little bit because we'll never leave it for forever. Let's just leave it a little bit.
But I had two questions though. Well, I had to answer one question.
I ask your question. Ask your question.
My question is, and I saw some people posting again, some people been claiming that supposedly that Spoon purchases viewers. Are they saying the most popular show in this time frame in Liberia cannot get 3,000, 4,000 viewers? Is that what Liberian people are saying? Because even that the comment, I was looking at one of the comments, somebody say Spoon can purchase viewers.
But then Spoon got money to purchase viewer every day. Tell them to be hired as one of our Spoon RT network.
And that's what I'm saying. So the other viewers that want to see 1,000 comments, that the viewer are making the 1,000 comments too.
Yeah, so reach out to them, ask them, tell them to help us, and let's find out how people do this thing.
Okay, then the question I wanted to answer. No, the question I wanted to answer, I asked my question. Kev had an answer about me about agriculture or something. So
we'll come back at the end. I want to bring you in, Kev. I will give you that last 5-10 minutes at the end.
Okay.
It will be juicy because the agriculture thing I heard it too. And also, Kev asked you if you apologize to the Spoon Network for comments you made. I want to keep all of that for the end. And, that would be our rough time. But let's bring in our folks. Guys, we can only take 10. Now I'm saying 6 in the back. I will bring you in, make your comment real quick at a minute or so. Then, just leave. We got to bring other people in because once we have 10, we'll move on, okay? It's a beautiful Friday. As advised in studio, Salamatu, our Dr. Richardson, Kev Hassan. We're going to be respectful, stick to the conversation. JMB trip to Nigeria, the government situation, the new budget line is coming up. We'll be discussing that on Monday. You understand that Fagon went high on this JMB trip, Fagon and Kev Hassan. Kev Hassan went high on Alexander Cummings about the vehicle traveling behind him for Musability. Where he stays for Sapo is not for, Cummings, the building Cummings stayed in. Cummings just building a new home on Ralphie Highway. The school, the STEM school is not for Cummings. Kev is just going crazy when you talk about Cummings. Talk about what president in America likewise, if you want to address that issue. We're hearing that Joseph R. Biden said he will not meet George Weah one-on-one because it's not on his schedule. But George Weah will be in Washington, D.C. Let's have a good talk. I'm going to bring Baran Pekin, the strong Baran Pekin. Baran Pekin, I'll bring you in. Let me bring in somebody else too in the back. Let's do this quick. All right, the rest of the guys are still trying to set up. I get Courage Sibo. I get Jenkins Vanny. Folks, if you hear your name, other people want to come also be quick. Harris Kuon as well. The strong band begin.
Yeah,
Welcome to school, man. How you doing?
thank you, Stanton. Thank you. It's a pleasure being on the show today. And let me just get straight to the point on the issues you listed. First, I want to address the Cummings issue. The issue with Mr. Cummings that I spoke to VAR after talk about some months ago. This is an example of no matter your position or where you are located, to not be detached from your country. All Cummings time in corporate America or wherever his position was, he was detached from Liberia. And Liberia has a social political type of system. You can not only be accepted politically, you also got to be accepted socially. And this is where George Weah still ranks high because he was accepted socially, in which one of the characteristics that made me support him in 2017, although I don't support him anymore. But you got to have some relationship to the people before Liberians accept you. So that is why suffering is a communist. Liberia does not care how people know you out there, who you are attached with or wherever. When they don't know anything about you back home, you find it hard to break it. On the issue of JNB, I think Waka, who is I see him as the first and the most formidable contender to he's making all the mistakes. Few months ago, it was the same Joseph Waka and other people who were criticizing George Weah have arrived private jet. Few months ago, few months later, Waka is doing exactly the same thing. You say the man came as president and he's showing flamboyance. So what are you doing differently from what your purported statement about George Weah?
Well, I want you right there real quick because your time is up, but don't you leave. Real quick, I want to ask the guys on the set. Seriously, he's making some point over your answer. I want you to address the comments or point that he made, and I will go to Kev to address the Waka issue because that was also Waka pointing finger to George Manuel Weah. His first point concerning comments, as if
You're muted.
Unmute.
Yeah. His perspective of detached and attached. I mean, how many Liberians can they say were attached to Liberia like the position George Weah? George Weah was an athlete representing the red, white, and blue at the time when we had nothing. So I just let people know him. I don't care what kind of connection somebody had with Liberia in those war years. It's just irrelevant. It will not escalate to that level of representing. You okay? So you can't compare that. If that's the basis, then let Liberian people vote for George Weah again. But no problem. Seriously.
Hold on 1 minute. Let you finish. I won't bring you cap.
Yeah, the point I'm making is we got work to do. Okay. Mr. Cummings has to continuously go out there. He's been doing that. He's been engaging people. And I got confidence that Mr. Cummings engage people. 55 to 60% of the people in our crowd will share and connect with him and be able to support him. So it's a continuous process. It's not in one day, and he has time to do that. So, you know, for him to say, oh, 2 votes now, he detached, that's his opinion. I can take that
Thank
from
you. Cass, the private jet on the issue concerning they were pointing finger at George Manuel Weah. Now they're doing the same. But I'm Pickens said I talked to him.
Well, Brother Pickens do have your point is well taken, Brother Pickens. You know, when he talk about attach and detach, I don't think I ever getting it.
No. Leave that. That wasn't for you. That was for Ava. That
kind of I just want to touch on that.
No, my man. We got a lot of people coming on. I beg you, my man. I know it's about comments. You must say something about it. But let's move on.
Yeah, man. The man can just smell Cummings. He can just smell Cummings and knows whole day. Exactly, knows B. Smell Cummings.
No, I just want to touch on that a little bit before I go on. You know, it's something like you say, "Bana, you're around, you're Bana Peking." Cummings don't know what that means, but Bana. That's what he's saying. He doesn't know what I mean. He's around. He doesn't know that
Cummings
was
coming
not
from
easy.
point four. Cummings
Let
grew
me,
up in point four.
I have a leader team. Point four.
Cummings coming from
Let
the
me
number
see.
8.4, man. Not from the garage.
Yeah, I'm not
Where did point four or anything?
Coming from the number 8.4, I go to Babiata and sit down and chill all day.
When point four changed.
But hold on, man. But I begin want to say thank you for joining Spoon, man. As always, it's good to have you. Thank you for bringing it. This is the time of like something. We appreciate you.
My man, I can bet you, Kev never went point four in his life. They Kev, man.
Let me bring Jenkins. Jenkins, how you doing?
My mom live around that area.
Jenkins. Jenkins, can you unmute? Unmute, Jenkins.
No, yes.
Go ahead. Talk to us, Jenkins. Talk to us.
Okay. So let me say good evening to each and every one of you, and most especially my mothers on the show.
Good.
Okay, so I listened to the show, and a quick two issues. I'm Jenkins Vanima Bande, currently in Rabos City, Grand County, and
so Grand Cape Line, you are coming in. Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, from the second most beautiful city in the world, Rabos.
What the first?
Where I will consider Dubai.
Go ahead, Jenkins.
Okay, so two issues. The first one has to do with the issue of presidential hopeful Alexander Cummings. During the past elections, we have one Seatonia Famula in Grand Kitman County, who was the now Senator Simon Bamatida, who were pushing the issue of Alexander Cummings in Grand Kitman County. But since the 2020 senatorial election, the two voices have lost. Honorable Simon Bamatida now is in Grand Kitman County, evidence gathering support for the current president and President George Mano. We are in the seat to Neil Kamala, who is the chairperson for the CPP and the ANC in Kitman. He's no longer held in Kitman. So I wanted to know from the spokesperson that the ANC force have advised the ANC authority in Grand Kitman County not to speak to the public or not to propagate for Alexander Cummings, because honestly, let me admit this to this platform. I work for a local media institution in Grand Kitman County, Radio Piso, as acting manager. We have honestly, now let me admit this on the platform. We are copied the style of a spoon. That is reaching out to the people in our very villages where we do not have network. We go there and record their voices and bring them on the radio. That is to talk about because those voices are no longer heard in Kitman. You no longer hear about Honorable Alexander Cummings in Kitman. It said that you have
James,
advised.
hang on 1 minute. So Isaac, you guys saying we're working, we will get there. Is somebody eating Mr. Cummings' money and ain't doing nothing?
Good question.
Come on. This is Grand Cape, man. Right next to an hour.
Listen
no, my brother Isaac, hold on now. My brother, I didn't call Jenkins on the show.
Jenkins is a media guy.
Is this another swagger happening? Just Lalo?
And you ask a question? You asked a question, right? You asked the question.
So can I continue the next?
No. You cannot continue. Jingy, wait.
Listen. Sometimes you can't control some things. Didn't he say we used to get a name before, and then what's the guy named Simeon? When the other
Simon Bamatida, the senator, the current senator of Grand Kitman
County. So you can't control that. He got compromised. He left after the ANC because I met Simeon myself, and he was talking BBT about ANC and about Mr. Cummings. But some people changed their mind.
Mr. Cummings, he became senator. He checker.
That's a possibility because Cummings supported him in the campaign. Okay, then we come to Tonier. I'm surprised what he's saying. I got to call Tonier. I got to ask Tonier because Tonier is the chairman over there, and Tonier is active. We have just this past last weekend, people were mobilizing in Cape Town and they put pictures in the chat room, and we saw those pictures and we saw the people. So Jenkins, I appreciate.
You know what? Yeah. Can I say something?
But I beg you, let Jenkins finish, then we'll bring in Salamatu. Jenkins, finish up. I beg you, finish up, Jenkins.
Then the next issue is with the issue of Kev. I want to say this to you. Are you aware of the conflict in Grand Kitmar County with the CDC? Because there are people within the CDC in Grand Kitmar County who think that they should benefit from the party. They have been with the party since 2005 and they have not benefited. You have the chairman who is the one of the ministers at TVET, Minister Malaza Sharif, who is serving as a chairman in Grand Kitmar County. And are you aware? The question is, are you aware of the conflict in Grand Kitmar County with the CDC? Then, to conclude on the show, the issue with the former Vice President, Ambassador Joseph Tumabwaka travel, I think his travel have brought some serious embarrassment to the partisans in Grand Kitmar County. Today, I attended three forums, one at the Mexican block in Tierney, and then two in Rabospo City. And I saw the partisans of the United Party finding it very difficult to defend the issue of Ambassador George Weah. Ambassador Joseph Nimabwaka, the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia, traveled to Nigeria, most especially with this issue that had to do with private jet. And there was something last night that was shared on this particular show by one of the panelists. That is, he said that Ambassador Joseph Nimabwaka friends are capable of owning private jet, but George Weah friends they're not able to get private jet. They needed travel to keke or motorbike.
Jimmy,
So that
Jimmy,
issue are then
Jimmy,
to yeah.
Jimmy, hold on 1 minute. You know what? Take my number. I want you to
Yes.
call me. I
Yes.
like your style.
Yeah,
The only
I like
one
him.
that we gotta
I like
connect.
him.
I take
I
my
like him.
number, listen, and send me a text on WhatsApp.
Well, all won't be jigging
No,
friends.
I won't be Jingy's friends yet. Yeah, yeah. Jingy won't be your friend.
Thing is,
Yeah,
You can't say your friend request, yeah?
Jiggins, I'm very impressed with you. I'll be
Go
honest,
ahead.
you're easily impressed. I think you did an excellent analytical job.
Listen,
And keep up the great work. Wherever way you lean, I appreciate you what you did.
Isaac,
Jingy's the CPP need you, yeah.
It's not even about where he leaned. It just
I'm a
about-
journalist now. I
it's
don't go
about-
in.
it's a journalist.
No problem,
You know what?
Jingy's.
You are
Whoever
saying
your
it.
friend is, yeah.
You know what I see in Jenkins? I'm seeing somebody. I've seen another James Goodday, another Emmanuel Kotu.
No. That other good day, man. I know he and Jiggins on the same level.
Jiggins, take my number real quick.
Jingies, I sent you a friend request.
Jiggins is articulate. He sticks to the topic. He brings you back. I really enjoy Jiggins though. Jiggins, you made it so good.
I don't know the radio piece you're working with, but tell them goodbye. Take my number again. 609.
You stay in Rawsport. We need you in Rawsport.
The CEO gave me his number publicly. You know he had for Jiggins.
Yes.
No, seriously. I like his story because listen.
CEO, let the CEO take his number.
So let me call my number. Let me call my number. Maybe you can send me a WhatsApp.
Okay.
Then I'll.
Jiggins, I confirm the friend request you send me. Yeah, I confirm the friend request you send me.
Go ahead.
You send your friend request.
0778.
Say that.
0778. 4517. 62.
Okay, hold on 1 minute though.
Don't take no call from the comments people because they will call you.
Hold on one second.
I beg you.
No, CEO. That's why I tell people all the time. We have talent in Liberia. We got young people who have the capability. We got to give them the opportunity. We just have to give them opportunities to excel.
Yes.
Yeah, but let me confirm the man now. Jenkins, I beg you. What Jenkins?
You have talent in Liberia.
The internet giving
Hey
trouble.
man, I gotta confirm Jenkins number though.
You on Facebook saying a friend request.
He on
Liberia
Facebook.
is a strong nation. We have a lot of talent. I agree with you, Iva.
Yep. I sent him a message to Jingy. Great job. It was very impressive.
But guys, let's continue. It's Kev. He asked a good question. You know what's happening in Cape Man? The problem with CDC? He did. He asked you a question.
Listen. I will tell you that Cape Man is done. We have senators then that endorse us for Cape Man from the ANC. Cape Man is finished. The people of Cape Man will vote George Manuel Weah. Remember, for me, it's my time. We around the same neighborhood. The people of Cape Mount will vote George Manuel Weah. The senator of ANC have endorsed us. So it's not a subject of discussion. But this man, this Jenkins, is a bright young man, and we need him on spoon. And I will support. And you're doing a great job, CEO, by recognizing a talent. And when it comes to like the talents of Liberian, I think we all will recognize it. But when it comes to Cape Man, we know Cape Man is done. Uh, the only place that we having a debate in Liberia right now is two places that we will
Two
debate.
places. Kev, you can't chop on this show.
The man allowed to chop on the show back. He's a man
all
back.
right, sorry. My
Yeah,
bad.
they did our simple English show back.
You right that I should have said two places. You damn right. I would say that two places, right? That we need to talk about right now. I will look at Lofa and Monserrado that we will have debate. But the rest of the counties in Liberia, we don't have debate.
All right, let's bring in the other guys real quick. I want to say I just called Jenkins, so it's good. I will get him in touch with the managing director. You can be one of our county correspondent. So we appreciate Jenkins, a very, very bright man. And I'm serious. I'm seeing another Emmanuel Cotto, James Goody, and the rest of the kids. We got to promote them. So I don't know what the station manager listening to us. Be very careful. Jenkins will be slipping out of your hand. Let's just bring in who next?
Titi is on the attack right now.
Albert, man, welcome. Albert, how you doing, man?
Yeah, thanks, CEO, and hi to all of you guys on set tonight. I'm here in Brussels.
Talk to us. Say what are you hearing so far? Talk to us.
Yeah, Dr. Francine. Even though you don't know me, but I'm one of your greatest admirers on the show. I admire your intellect, your intelligence, and the rest of them.
But at the same,
okay, why can't you send a private message?
He got competition from one guy named Regime something, REGIM. Whole day the guy say he praising you. So
but at the same time, Dr. Francine, just as sometimes see you say, I know you want to go to Toboki and Mohamed Drawre. I beg you, man, don't can have beyond the margin of error and sampling thing. The facts are there. Liberia is not like the developed world where we come in with margin of errors and the rest of them. But we know nobody can dispute that Fumi is now one of the most qualified person in this 2023 elections.
Qualified, you said?
I said qualified. He's qualified to be president of Liberia. But at the end of the day, politics and election comes with numbers. And if the numbers are not there, you have to fight towards getting the number. Just as in 2017, Tai Wangbe is a statistician. He said that the ANC have worked all over in the corners of Liberia and Kumi had the number. And at the end of the day, we saw what the results were in 2017. Now, to conclude, when it comes to Louis Brown, in elections, the people you bring around you is a greater factor that influence people to come along your way. Like for me, at a certain point, I was leaning towards Kumi and trying to convince family people back home in Liberia. But when I saw Louis Brown Bull, the name Louis Brown brings trauma on my mind, considering the fact that days we were at the University of Liberia during the Taylor regime. We were almost conscripted at the University of Liberia to go and fight in Lofa. So at the end of, he has the right to join any political party. But at the end of the day, someone like me who was leaning towards Cummings, seeing Louis Brown going on the side of Cummings, it drives me back to the days of Taylor, because he was one of the greatest policy makers in the Taylor's regime. And that's just the fact. It's not politics. I'm just being bold and fair. So it's just what I wanted to say tonight. I was actually leaning towards Cummings.
Albert, thank you so much. I respect your views, okay? Thank you for your feedback.
Thank you,
Thank
Mom.
you very much, Albert. Good to have you. Let
Yeah.
bring in Courage. Courage.
Yes, CEO, how are you?
All is well, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me. How to everyone? I was calling to address just two things quick. One having to do with the people sharing a lot of information about the Honorable JMB flying with private jet. You see, anything you do in the world, people have issues for Liberian people. These are the simple people passing around say he been a vice president. What about vice president? Former vice president he is. He don't got nothing to show. He ain't got nothing at all. Now, this is a man that have not become president. He just an ordinary man and can have that contact where our current president George Manan, we are President George Manan, we are in respect. When he was senator, where he has squandered all of the money. People call him so-called billionaire, but he was running to be senator for Morado County. He couldn't fly private jet. But this is a man that is not president, just an ordinary citizen, can fly private jet. That's tell you that you have a contact. Now, if to say he was using the Liberian people money to fly with private jet, that's a completely different thing. Then we will say, why are we talking to George Weah about using the Liberian taxpayer money and then flying the type of stuff? But he used whatever means they have to do. That's how you have a contact. Now, the second thing I want to bring forth is what you call it, the ANC camp. I personally I support Joseph Juma Braga. To be very honest with you, as I speak to you, I'm on my way to go back to Liberia, register, time to vote. I'm going back to go vote now. But this thing it shouldn't be about Joseph Braga and Dana Kumi. We should we should deviate from that. Our target should be just we are because that guy is a gangster. He's a criminal. He has come into this country to just steal our money and leave the country.
I say
So
courage.
let her
Courage.
put up. Let her
Courage.
put. Yeah,
Hold on 1 second. Let me just clap for you.
yeah. Thank you. Let us put
Opposition
all
leader
our
working.
differences aside. And I'm saying this publicly to my colleague Camille. If Alexander Kumi having to come second round in election with George Weah, I would vote for Alexander Kumi. Because you know why? We look at it less evil. And I want the same thing to Alexander Kumi's group to say the simple thing. Alexander Kumi is far not better than George Weah. Why it is true I am supporting Joseph Waka 100%. I spend everything to it. But if I'm sleeping, you wake me up between George Weah and Alexander Kumi, I would rather vote for
Can I
Alexander
ask you
Kumi.
something?
And I want,
Courage.
Kev,
Courage.
with
Can
all
I ask
due
you
respect,
something?
please respect me. I'm speaking, please. When I don't, you have
Can
your
I
time,
ask you
please.
something? Can I ask
All
you
right?
something?
Yeah, but hold on, Courage. Courage,
Can
give
I ask you
Kev the
something?
chance to answer your question.
Can I ask you something?
All right, go ahead.
You realize JMB was there for 12 years and had a budget for over $3 million. Do you realize that?
He was a vice president. So you know what you needed to do now? Your
No, no,
own
no, no.
president.
Wait. I'm asking you.
Courage,
Go
hold
ahead.
on. Let Kev finish. Kev,
Yeah.
All right.
Do you realize he was there for 12 years, had a budget of over $3 million?
Yes.
And can you explain how he performed with that budget? And he was the president of the Senate, right? With a lot of
So Kev, because we gotta let Courage go.
yeah,
Let Courage
yeah,
wrap up
quick,
real quick.
quick. I just want to ask
Yeah.
you.
No,
I
let
want
me
Let you wrap up.
CEO,
Go ahead, Courage.
CEO, let me explain that. Let me explain this to Kev. Because
want you to
this is
answer
how
that.
they go about.
Kev,
No,
let
I want
Courage
you to
wrap
answer that.
Kev. Let Courage wrap up and leave, please.
So
Go ahead,
Kev, I would just talk a little bit on your question, all right? Now, being a vice president of a country, come on right now, your present vice president, what is she doing? Just tell me what is she doing? The vice president of a country, especially for Liberia, is like a ceremonial position. Now, Joseph Baga is the only president. Joseph Baga is the only official that left office and turned over money to head to the person that succeeded him, Joseph Braga. Now, you guys would have seen what people say. Wait a minute, Kev. You guys would have seen what people saying.
Let him
That
go now.
you guys were the same old people saying that Joseph Braga was depending on George Weah.
Thank you.
George Weah for everything. Now, this is a man that flying private jet and you're worrying about it. And you're not using taxpayer money.
Okay,
Courage,
thank you.
Yeah.
Courage, you should ask Kev. A president out there for just under 6 months, and he built five different properties, including that.
So what I want.
Listen, guys, Courage.
Yeah.
We want to say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the time. We know
Thank
we'll
you,
have you
Courage.
again next week.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you. Let's go.
Thank you very much. So let's move on. Let's bring in the Honorable Yeke Koluba Jr. No, sorry, I told you I knew what Yeke Koluba. I'm sorry, man. Yeke say. Talk to us. Thank you. Welcome to the show, my man. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. It's actually a pleasure for me tonight to be on the biggest platform in the country. My full name is Yeke Sekui. I'm currently the community chairman of the single biggest community in the Republic of Liberia, the Peace Island community.
Yeke Koluba community. Wow.
And unarguably the next representative of district number 10, Mazarara County.
Oh. Wait.
Are you running against Yeke?
The people will be replacing me with Yeke.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I actually called to make my points on the issue of Mr. Cummings, the former vice president, and George Weah, particularly on a major point. Like for my community, anytime a team of people from the CDC or the Unity Party or the ANC comes to the community, the first person they will look for is the community chairman. So sometimes I will start to ask most of because let me be very realistic. The guys on a fee every day, you will see the ANC close on them. But sometimes deep down there, when you're asking them, they will tell you, oh, my man, we just hustling, man. I'm for ANC. I'm a Unity Party man. I'm a CDC man. I'm a Unity Party man. I'm a CDC man. So I just want to tell Big Brother Isaac and the team from the ANC to see how best they can talk to Mr. Cummings because he has a lot of people working for him who are not for him.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Hold on 1 minute. Wait. My man, stop. I don't do this thing today. Today, Friday. So people like eating Mr. Cummings money free?
I'm telling you, CEO, like I told you, I am the democratically elected chairman of Peace Island, the youngest community chairman in the Republic of Liberia. I won with 3,900 voting community election.
So you got some people in your community just moving around eating Mr. Cummings money and lying.
Every day you will see about 20-25 ANC workers. And most of them, we are friends. You ask them, they will tell you, I'm a seditious, I'm a UPS, I'm for Joe Bragai, I'm a seditious, I'm a UPS. I said, but my man, why you will be wearing some of the t-shirts in my man, the country, how we hustling?
Oh,
let's go back to Mr. Tuba. Hang on with us 1 minute. Our brother Isaac. Hearing what you're hearing now, man, you got to respond, bro.
Oh, I can respond easily. Again, I told you we got people working, right? Now his impression is they're wearing the t-shirt. Maybe he's the chairman of the community and they intimidated by him. I don't know. There's a lot of pressure with people, but we see people mobilizing on Peace Island.
Isaac.
Can I make the point?
No, I said no, my man. All your uno follow one then that they scared of Google, man.
No, when they get pressure. Hold up. When they get pressure, like he said, okay, the man are community chairman, right? Now youth chairman, community chairman.
No, youth chairman. I am not youth chairman. The community
where the flaw
chairman.
in his statement is those people are not being paid. They are not being paid. They're volunteers. They are not being paid. So I know there's something under that statement because our mobilizers are not being paid. They come to the headquarters. They can get probably a little bit of transportation for them to move into the area or something, but they are not being paid. James Momo can come on here. What your name? Lawrence Swag can come on here. Momo Samuel can come on here.
But you're not in like bro, man. But they mentality. The man in community.
I was not there.
You are there. You ran away on slow way. The man, the man said, They put it on the low. They're lying to commies. But Honorable Yeka Sekwe, go ahead, finish up real quick.
So for me, Big Brother Isaac, I think I'm very fair to you. I'm very fair to
I
you.
appreciate it. I disagree, but I appreciate it.
That has been my observation, and
Okay.
that has been my observation over the period of time. There are a lot of them coming in the community who come to me, and they will come to the community chairman. You spoke about youth chairman. I'm not a youth chairman. I am the community chairman of Peace Island community, the single populated community in Division number 10. And so most of them will come in the community, even with the leadership of the party. Mr. Kumi has also been visiting my community. They call me on the phone. They call me these few days to inform me, and they call me to send a community chair that I appointed to work along. So I'm telling you something that I've observed over a period of time. I've been looking for. Even you ask some of the executives of the party, who some of us we from Nimba. I'm from Nimba. I'm a son of Nimba. I've been informing them. You see a lot of people come in the community. Ask them, they will be very fair to you. They will tell you, I have a Joe Burger, I have a George Weah, I have a Joe Burger, I have a George Weah. I said, but remember, you do a Kumi t-shirt, and they will be like, oh, because they can tip us. We're hustling. They're having a rare vest. I think only mobilization something.
Thank you very much. Thank you, my brother. Let's bring in the other folks who are wrapping this thing up. We want to say thank you, Honorable.
Thank you, CEO.
Good to see you. Yeah. Let me bring in Albert Gamen. Welcome to the Spoon Talk, my brother. Can you unmute yourself and talk to us? Albert. Okay, the man relaxing. We'll bring in Richard. Richard, can you hear us?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Talk to us, Richard.
I'm Richard Hardy Jr. I'm a student in Italy. Yeah, for me, my take today, I just want to talk to the CEO, especially the show. The show is a great show, but then you have 3 strong political parties in the country. I think it will be prudent for you to have like 2 persons from each of the political parties to be on the show, then making a show or ANC show, because the show is dominated by ANC folk. You have Care and Loan from the CDC, and you don't see someone from the United Party, but sometimes you see 4 or 5 persons from the ANC. So I think it's not fair to the other political parties.
Yeah, let me address that. Thank you for bringing it up. If you can, I beg you, talk to them to come on Spoon. Just if you can. We appreciate you. We have tried, man. You can take the camel to the river, you can't force it to drink. So we ask you, if you know anybody in UP and other political party, please tell them to come and join Spoon. We'll be glad to have them, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, let me talk about a little bit of politics in the country. You see, I was driving to work the community camp by then, but when you look at the community camp, you have something like everyone feel that is entitled to, especially from the community camp, they feel that are entitled to being in the leadership or like we are all community law. So everyone should have a community. So sometimes if you like try to talk about communities, like let things goes this way, all ANC force will start to attack you because everyone feel that community only go. And if it tends to be so clean, and you bring people like Louis Brown, Toga Gaywell McIntyre, who saw our passport. He was the first foreign minister who introduced your passport. You have all of those people around Kumni. He said Kumni is a clean man. He's not a clean man. He's one of the dirtiest politicians now in the country. So to make it clear, I don't think Kumni will be an alternative for after George Weah. Kumni cannot be. You can have another person, but it's not Kumni because Kumni message is contrary to what he preached. His behavior is contrary to what he preached.
Thank you very much, our brother Richard. Thank you. Guys, we will take just 2 more because we have to go. Please, we'll take 2 more. Let me bring in Joe Handsome. Joe Handsome, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Talk to us, Joe. Joe, talk to us. All right, so Joe is...
Yeah.
Oh, my man.
How you doing, Slenton?
Yeah. Yes, go ahead. Talk to us.
Hello? You getting me?
How you doing? Yes, sir.
Slenton. Hello?
Hello.
We're hearing you.
Hello, Slender. Yeah. He will come back. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But let's wrap this thing up. Let me bring in somebody that in the back. This is our last person. Tia Jackson. Tia Jackson, you're the last for tonight, man. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, talk to us, my brother.
Hello, guys. How you guys doing over there? Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, guys.
I mean, listen to yourself, but you got to turn that device off.
Man, let me first, all of you are doing good, but let me first thank my man, Curve. Curve. Kev, you're so strong and you're so brave to be among all these people defending our president. And let me tell you one thing. And you're so brave to
I mean, turn something off. You got another device on, yeah. You can't pressing camera. I'll tell you off the show.
Hey, my man, Slater, let me talk small now. Stop pushing me down.
But stop looking up. Look in the camera. Turn that device you have up there. Turn it off.
Look, let me talk a little bit about our country.
Okay, it's good.
The country is a place that I've been in America for a while now, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. The country is trying. The president is doing his best. I know. Let me just tell you this. I know Kraft been pushing everybody, been trying to see how best we can get with this, get on board. Look, George, we are the biggest thing George we are ever know is sports. Stanton, I follow this talk show all the time. I say in my living room, I watch it all the time, and I appreciate you for doing all this. But look, guys, I see Maria when she get on there, Dr. Richardson, and now Salimatu. I seen all of y'all. I hang with him a couple of times. I used to drive Winston Tubman car when he used to patrol in the U.S. from New York to Rhode Island. You know me very well. Rufus Akwe, I used to hang with Rufus Akwe. But look, man, guys, we're talking about the president. We're talking about negative things about the leadership now. We can't hear anything better about the people that were the oppositions. We can't see any improvement. We don't see what they're doing in the country. They want to say negative things about the the leadership right now, but they're not setting any example. I hope you understanding me. There's no example. Nobody setting an example. Everybody just want to be in power. Dr. Richardson always talk about her party, or Mariah always talk about their party, but they're not telling the Liberian people what they're going to do for the Liberian people when they get in power. But look, Kev, I thank you so much, my man, for standing strong. Keep being strong with these people. I know you able than you can do it, my brother. I thank you all, and thank you.
I'm not bad, man. That Kefi who? You have move for you? Who the man ever?
Well, stay down. Where I'm coming straight up for you.
That man ear plug. That man ear plug. He can't hear.
We're gonna end with Dr. Ishmael Habi.
My man, we end with everybody. You gotta keep adding people.
My man, yeah, but we gotta go, my man. It's past the 3 hour mark. Dr. Ishmael.
Yeah, how are you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay, Dr. Chinawe from Rowersville, thank you so much. Thank you, Kevin, everybody. But they will straighten something out and behave like real Liberian that fear God. On this platform, the other guy that just came and wanted to talk about Mr. Cummings, and instead of you stopping, then another fellow came and insulted a sitting president, and Ava was clapping for him. That's not a good thing. Then they will go back to the issue. You see, when Mr. Cummings was coming to Germany, I'm a sedition. And I told Mr. Cummings that I'm a supporter of this president, but I want to see him as one of the prominent Liberian citizens. And I went there, I was there through all meet and greet. You can ask Mr. Cummings, but before coming to Germany, when he appeared on SKTV, I asked you one simple question. Mr. Cummings, you are the visionary of this vision. Your people that follow you, are they carrying the same vision? Are they loyal like sedition? Because one thing I noticed about ANC people, all my sister, Dr. Richardson, Mariah, Alva, all of the ANC folks, all they know anybody, whether the person is part of that vision. Once a person can talk negative thing about President Weah, then wish me to bring them on board. That's why I'm making. You see, Kev just spoke something very sound. That's true. I know. I know. I'm talking. I'm observed before I talk. That's not. If I go against President Weah now, you'll be clapping for me. But let me take my 3 point very quick. That's a very big mistake you're making for Mr. Cummings. If you see says you're seeing everybody, once you go against this government, then you are a good member of ANC. Kev make a very sound statement. He said from the day Mr. Cummings changed Tim Cummings, taking Musa Bedete, forget about some names. Now somebody will say this person is like that, but this person is like that. Everybody need a good player. You see how Cummings is going down the drain every day. When somebody asks the ANC folks about what they would do for the Liberian people, they will now turn the question to insult the sitting president. That's what they come to JMB. You know, JMB can't do nothing because he has missed a lot of things. And we need to be very honest when you want to be an incoming, whether you will win this election or next election, we know that you are government in waiting. And when you are a government in waiting, you should be very honest. If I may be generous and ask Dr. Richardson now to name one thing, there is no day, no time. There were sometimes people accuse Stanton, he CDC, he ANC, he UP, he beat on everyone. But for you to ask Ava now, or Dr. Richardson, or Mariah, say they should point out one simple thing this government has done, they will never name it. So we are proceeding wrongly. If we want to rescue the Liberian people, we need to be real to the issue. Thank you for having me.
Okay. You want me to address the fallacy Dr. Ishmael Habib been presenting?
Yeah, you can go ahead. I can give you evidence. I will give you the premium fallacy ever.
Listen,
I will give you
Dr.
all of the
Dr.
couple
Habib,
devices.
Dr.
That
Habib,
fallacy is
Dr.
fact.
Bali, listen. It's good to have you on the Spoon Talk. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Have a good evening. Listen, guys, I'm so sorry. Join us tomorrow. We'll bring every one of you in. We got to go. We must leave. Sorry, we cannot bring you in. We have to end this link.
Okay, you can get Mr. Harris cool on 1 second, sir.
So if Mr. Harris cool is in darkness, nobody's seeing his face. The man is in complete darkness. Because he says so, I bring him on, but he's in complete darkness. You see? I'm not making that up.
I can see the man's face, man.
You in Liberia or where are you? You got when in Liberia, you can be in that darkness.
I'm in Liberia, CEO.
I see. My man, but I'm about to
You hear me?
Say a man, so you need money now.
I will send it, but when I provide light, because no transformer in the man era.
Oh, no transformer too?
No, but I know the man.
CEO, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother. Talk
CEO,
to us.
you hear me?
Talk to us. I'm hearing you.
Okay. Yeah, firstly, let me commend the team for the show. I want to speak on the Joseph Boaga issue and then that of the Alexander Cummings. From all indication, I hear Kev Atan comparing Dr. George Manawia and that of Joseph Boaga. When you are comparing people, you should be comparing their position as well. And you find George Weah, all of these things that are happening is now a surprising thing on the part of the government. Because here is a man who served as senator, but he couldn't put nothing on the floor, and then he scored FFF all the time with Ara. So these are report people Liberians should have followed before voting George Weah, but they did not do. But you come to the vice president, he served with due diligence. It's people might brag about it that they work in government all of the time. But Joseph Boaga work in government, they will tell you 40 years, but he has never been carrying to any corruption court. To that the less of McGill, who been working government for 10 years. So you see those records? Joseph Boaga served as agriculture minister in the country. He became the Lovakande became the breadbasket of the country. He's the only candidate when you are examining candidate in Liberia. He's the only candidate his children went to high school here, like you and myself. They went to university right here, and today we can count on them. Where does he have any development? So Kev, why you guys? I want to.
Kev, we got to go. The brother got to finish. Kev,
a great man talking dumb things. They are fault.
Go ahead, Harris.
They are fault.
Kev, you need to stop, my man.
Kev,
I mean, we call
Kev needs
people just to
suspension of
give
time
their
from.
views. Let the man give his views and leave, Kev. Go ahead, my
Okay.
brother Harris.
CEO, my battery is very low. I cannot tomorrow. I'll join you. My battery is going off.
Yeah,
Please.
join us tomorrow. Join us tomorrow. Thank you.
See you,
He stopped, but Kev,
see you.
stop,
No,
stop,
see
Kev.
you
No,
the
wait,
Ivory for.
Kev, stop,
Joseph
stop,
Bokala,
Kev,
president of
Kev,
the
Kev,
Senate.
Kev,
When
Kev. You
he
need to
talking,
listen,
Ivory, my
Kev.
man.
I beg you, listen. Sometimes just listen. He's not a panelist. He just called it in.
Yeah, but
You don't, but Kev, you stop. No, sometimes I told you, I said, wait, after the show, take your blue moon. Don't take it while you're on the show. No,
but but my man,
yeah, my man, my man, don't take that thing while you're on the show, but I know why it can work. Yeah, but
I can somebody call whole platform. You know that JB, the president of the Senate.
okay, so let's wrap this thing
Go ahead.
up. Ava,
Okay.
San Matthew, Dr.
All right.
Richardson, Kev Hassan. Let's wrap this
Yeah.
thing up.
So can I give 1 minute of my time, whatever amount of time I got, to this guy in the slot, Momo Samula? He went on the chief mobilizer, and he was directly addressed by Yeke, whatever that last name is, who said that the mobilization people can say they're not for ANC. So he wants to come on. He's in a private chat there.
No,
If
he's
you can
not.
give me 1 minute of my
But he's
time,
not. He
just so
went
he can be
off.
heard.
He went off. So let's
Oh,
move
okay.
on.
All right.
He's not in the back. He was in the back, but he left.
So I clapped earlier when the guy said the opposition should collaborate. I never heard that guy say anything bad about George Weah that I clapped for. So let me correct Habib. Now, when I was with the CDC, TNN were nowhere to even be making position or saying anything. The work we did, he had no connection with that work. Yeah, maybe he drove the car or something, that way he did a contribution. The reality is, we're not there to make the government look good. That's not the role of the opposition. The role of the opposition is to hold the government feet to the fire. And unfortunately, maybe his ears are black. Mr. Cummings has been very clear on where his pillars are, what we expect to do for the Liberian people. He has been clear on engaging the hearts and minds of the Liberian people. He has been clear on the focus on agriculture, the focus on jobs and economy to create jobs, and he has been able to spell exactly the areas of potential: agriculture, tourism, business process outsourcing, as well as the construction industry, the infrastructure sector. He has talked about expanding education. He has talked about focusing on primary healthcare and on preventive healthcare, because the diseases that most of us Liberians die from are very, 5 or 6 kind of disease categories, and he has focused on working on those things. He has talked about youth empowerment and women involvement and inclusion, as well as youth. So for somebody to say they have not heard Mr. Cummings or the ANC or the CPP, for that matter, talk about these issues of what we bring to the table and what we want to do for the people, that's just complete fallacy. But I enjoyed the show today. I appreciate the time here. I know you said we're going to address Kev questions and stuff.
Yeah, let's do our quick round. We'll leave that in between you and Kev. Cool. Yeah, Salam Matthew.
Okay. Number one, let me just say this. As the guy from District 10, we're talking about Peace Island, because I work at Peaceville City Corporation for a while. And that was we went there a lot, talked to people in the community, both in Peaceville and Monrovia. So we used to go to a lot of these communities. But I will say this, right? District 10, when you look up District 10, Alex Cummings ran for the first time as president in the last election. That was his first time. And he came in third, actually beating out Councillor Brumskin, who is well known in Liberia. He came in number third. So as the guy was talking, it was strange to hear him say that, the people don't know Mr. Cummings in there, and people are just fooling him, they're eating his money, they're wearing his shirt. Mr. Cummings is known in District 10, by the way. Second of all, I want to address, Kev made a statement that, Minister Brown took food off of people's table. Kev, I was also in Liberia when George Weah won the presidency. I was there before he won. I remember one of the things that stood out to me when I first visited Liberia in 2010. I saw a house on 9th Street that belonged to the president. It was completely destroyed. And people say, "Oh, you know that George Weah house?" And I was just wondering. I said, "Well, why he can't visit us?" I was visiting. Fast forward 2017, when George Weah won the election, I kid you not, within but he took oath in January, within less than a week of him swearing in, they knocked that house down. And if I let anybody in Liberia say within 6 months, we saw a new property go up. Not only did we see a new property go up at that location, we actually saw about 5 different properties go up within 6 months, including the late colorful 48 unit apartment place on the highway, and the church that they built on the highway. We saw a lot of things, and guess what? The international community, that was when George Weah and his government, they started buzzing like, where did they get all this money from to build these properties? So let's not talk about somebody taking money off of people's table, because within that 6 months, the jobs that he promised the young people, it never happened for them. And up until now, 5 years later, almost 6 years later, the jobs has not happened for them either. So let's not talk about people taking food off of people's table. This government has taken a lot of food off of plenty Liberian people's table. And just to go back to my statement, when I was talking about Dr. Martin Luther King, the letter from Birmingham is one of those documents that I admire. I think it's one of the smartest, the most brilliant writing in there, because you can learn so much from it. I was not comparing Louis Brown to Dr. Martin Luther King. I don't know Minister Brown long enough to be able to compare him to Dr. Martin Luther King. What I was trying to convey is that there were people in an area who were suffering, who were known as the victim, and they were crying out for help. The one person who decided to go and help them was the same person that a lot of people were criticizing. We want to call out Mr. Councillor Gonglo. And anybody else who knows the issues in Liberia and what the Liberian people are going through, we need them to speak out. If they're not speaking out, and victim, people are crying and saying, you know what, we're suffering. We need education for our children. We need health care for our children. We need jobs for our young people. If people are crying out and nobody is speaking for them, anybody that go and speak for them, they will listen to them. So we want to ask Councillor Gonglo to come out along with anybody else with good character, who feels like they have good character, to come out and now start talking on behalf of the Liberian people who are suffering. There are a lot of people who are suffering. I look at a young man, he's sitting in darkness, trying to voice his opinion. And people are telling me that a country that old, that what we're supposed to be looking at, a little country of 4, not even close to 5 million people, we can hardly provide anything substantial for our citizens, and we think everything is good. And so my opposition, we have plenty of opposition.
The ANC will make him toggle.
Almost finished. We have about 90. I beg you. We have about 19 parties in Liberia, anywhere
Just 2
between
minutes.
90
I'm gonna go 5 minutes, my man.
I beg, no, I'm going no 5 minutes. We need to start the opposition. Yes, the opposition needs to come together. We need to start talking on the issues. George Weah and his government is giving us so much to speak on, and we fighting among ourselves because we're waiting for somebody like Kev to send us a good face to speak on our behalf.
Somebody like Kev.
Yeah, no, so yeah, Kev, yeah, you CDC, but you the one telling us who must be the face of our protest, our peaceful protest. Not so. But anyway, so opposition, yes, we do agree. We need to come together. We do agree. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. We don't have this in the bag. If CDC believes that they have it in the bag, I beg you, please don't campaign. Y'all don't campaign. Y'all stay home. Y'all got it, and we will work. We got a lot of work to do. Okay. So with that, I digress.
Okay.
With that, you respectfully submit, like Mr. Fagon can say on the show, right? He's not here to do so.
Yes, Fagon is traveling, so he's not here today.
Okay.
That's Richardson.
I want to just end by saying that I want to thank all of the callers for, all of the people who are here today. Not the callers, but the people who came in today. I think they made some really good recommendations. The observation was on point. We respect your views. I started somewhere in my conversation with us today. I said that somebody's hero is another person's terrorist. That is actually the case of Liberia. So the only thing we can do now is to all realize that Liberia runs through us. Liberia is not a monolithic country. Liberia generally consists of one group of people. Liberia got plenty of different culture, plenty of different people from different backgrounds. So when we come here and say, oh, you know, this person is detached, or this person is not detached, or where is this person, and all of those things, we have to realize that, all of those things can be seen differently by different Liberians. The only thing that we can do right now is to, instead of taking somebody's t-shirt and voting differently, is to ask yourself, am I voting for the best interest of Liberia? When I look at the candidates that are in the race, who is the better candidate? We should ask that question. Who is the better candidate? We shouldn't ask, we shouldn't vote based on likability. I like this person, or I just like this person. We've done that before. Okay. A lot of the people, and that's a cultural thing too. We recognize that. But we gotta move forward. We gotta move forward to the place where we're voting for a country to move in a developmental path, to move on a developmental path. So we welcome everybody to this rally. Like everybody have said yet, if you feel like you're doing well in Liberia, stay at home. If Mr. Glongo feel like he's not doing well in Liberia, let him come. We open. This rally is open to everybody. If he has said want to go have his own rally at the executive mansion, he can do that. We welcome that as well. That's as long as he's working in the interest of Liberian people. For those of you who believe that Mr. Brown is shouldn't be the face of this rally, Mr. Cummings is the one on the ballot. He's the one who's going to eventually uh, write a vision for Liberia, the way that he wants to see Liberia go. So Mr. Brown is just a mouthpiece. He is somebody hero as well as somebody terrorist, and that's what I'm going to end at.
Oh, I like your ending. He's someone hero as well as someone terrorist. Wow, that's powerful, Kev. And Mr. Brian is someone terrorist, man. Wow, Kev. Let me
You
hear
said
this
you
back.
forgot a hero power. You forgot a hero power that I said. You just
Kev,
want the
Kev,
terrorist power.
Kev, please, please, Kev, please help me out.
Oh God, I'm listening to the ANC surrogates. Uh, I think Ira, you got a lot of work to do um, uh, on those people. But let me say this: uh, we listen to you guys. I see them calling my names, which I don't wish uh, to answer to, because I know that uh, uh, they have their own views. But I just want to just throw a little light on the upcoming rally. You guys go ahead, do your rally, which I think you guys do have to write to um, peaceful assemble, because that's what our constitution say. And uh, you do have your space that you partially pay for, and I will say that partially pay, and you go there and do what you have to do. But we want a peaceful nation, CEO, a peaceful nation. Um, when we listen to what Gonglo tape, that we actually need, the people who don't listen, go and listen to it. Describe the face of the ANC slash CPP. Um, The face of the ANC and CPP, Louis Brown, is not the right messenger. It's not. You cannot come and preach about retired suffering while you are navigating through political parties for position. You know what the people tire of? The people tire of political prostitutes. That's what the people tire of. Where you going? So long they give you something, you stay there. You sleep there at night. I guess there's a song that normal people sing. Maybe some people in Liberia would not know that, but I know some people will know that song. Dr. Richie, you should know that song. Papa was a Rolling Stone. She laughed. Louis Brown is a Rolling Stone. Find that song. He's a Rolling Stone. Wherever he lays his head on. If anybody don't know that song, Google that song. Papa was a Rolling Stone. That's Louis Brown. And that's what the ANC becomes. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Don't play with the Liberian people. And I will say this. Our opponent from the CDC side is a unity party. ANC is not our opponent. They are not formidable. And I will call on the leader and the leadership of the ANC should drop out of the race and let's have a good election. Drop out of the race. You're not formidable. The Liberian people have spoken through the most popular radio station, TV station in the land, the Spoon. Credible polling. Drop out unless the Liberian people choose their leader. Stop playing games and stop the Papa a Rolling Stone game wherever you lay your head on. That's roaming around. So for me, I will stop here. And if I was, the Spoon. See, let me say this. Let me say this, please. The Spoon is a very generous station. If this Spoon were going, the Spoon were going to the standard of MSNBC and CNN, I thought I will not be here. ANC people will not be here. Because why? People should ask me why. They don't have the rating. But you are a generous man, Stanton Witherspoon. If I will borrow the word from Mariah, you're a better man than me. Because if I was the head of Spoon, the ANC will not come on Spoon because they don't have the rating. They don't. By evidence of our poll. Why will we bring people of ANC on the Spoon, a member of the ANC on the Spoon, that they don't have the rating? You're a generous man.
Kev, that's
I will tell
amazing.
you this. I will tell you this. I mean, they don't.
Before
If
I was saying something, can I just?
I gotta speak, but I want to bring Ava.
No, CEO, let me wrap up. If this were the standard of CNN and MSNBC, ANC would not appear on the Spoon show because they don't have the rating. Why would we bring people who don't have the rating?
Let Kev make it
You're a generous
individual.
man. You're a generous man. If I was Spoon,
If this was
I
MSC,
ever
would
took
be
one.
on Fox.
I ever took one.
No, you will not
Salama
even open the door. You will not
Yeah,
even
you
touch
might.
the door.
will not appear on
You
this
will
You will
be
not even
on
network.
touch
Fox,
the
my
door
brother.
to
You
go
will
to
be
his
on some
computer
Fox
room.
station.
He will not
They will
touch
not
the
appear.
door to his computer room to come on.
God,
If this
they
was
coming,
any
coming.
They will not
serious
appear.
station,
They
Kev,
don't have the
your
rating.
intellect
I mean,
level
what you mean serious
raise
station? Our
everything
station are
here.
serious.
I will bring people on like a one food.
What you mean
Zero
serious
food.
station? Our
Come on,
station
man.
are serious.
No,
I
I didn't
wanted
say
to
that's
just
serious.
You say
um
there's any serious station. Kev, the message is a
Kev,
serious station.
Kev,
But
You know
I really
why I
like the
say they
way how
shouldn't
you
come
Will
here?
be on Fox
my man,
News.
You're a
Kev,
generous man. CEO, you're a generous man.
No, you
I'm
are
telling you.
generous because that MSC he will be on Fox.
where
CEO,
facts? Kev
CEO,
qualified to be on Fox.
But so
you're
let
a
me have
good
the
man.
senior guys. Let me
Kev,
have
you
the
know what?
senior.
Can I just say
No,
one thing?
They will not come here.
Kev, I like
If
your
I-
song,
CEO,
your ending song.
let me
Pop
say,
out some
CEO,
Rolling
you
Stone.
know me. You know what I say to you in the back. You know me. If I were, if that you the one stopping me. Sometimes when you say they come, I will ask you what they coming to do. What they coming to do?
Kev. Let me ask you a question, Kev. Kev, let me ask you a question. Kev,
I'd
I
rather
got
to
to close
debate
now.
Mo
Kev,
Ali than to
Kev, I
debate
got to close.
Oh yeah, now he's tired.
the rest of them.
Kev, I got to close.
be
Let me
on
ask you a
Fox.
question. Why are you so into comments? Why? Just real 10 seconds, please.
You asked me a question that I will answer just like this. Mr. Cummings is a waste of time. And because it's a waste of time, and we're bringing him into our politics.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you another question.
That's a waste of time.
Hold on. Let me ask you this question. Hold on, Kev. Calm down. So,
Oh man, play my song. Let Kev get fed, man. Play my song.
we come to play a song. You said Mr. Cummings is a waste of time, right? Does he have the qualification to be a leader for Liberia, to lead the country? Do you think he has that qualification?
Let me tell you.
Salary?
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Politics is numbers game.
No, I'm not talking about qualification. I'm not talking about numbers game. Do you think Mr. Cummings has the qualification to lead Liberia?
Salamatu do have she do have the qualification to lead. What's the point?
You didn't answer the question.
I'm telling you, Salamatu, let me tell you this. Dr. Richardson do have the qualification than the Cummings.
Okay, that's okay. You'll never answer. But let's play the song.
Let's
play
but it's a numbers game.
But let me before we play. Kev, calm down with Mr. Cummings' business. The man in California enjoying himself. Calm down, Mr. Cummings' business.
The last thing I'm saying to you when it comes to the ANC is charity.
Okay.
You're performing a charity to Mr. Cummings. I think you should file tax of bringing Mr. Cummings on the show. End of the year, file tax because it's a charity thing.
Okay, so Kev, let me move ahead to say this one, right? So we just got information that how you call them, Azevad OFAC came down with the sanction today. December 9 is anti-corruption, International Anti-Corruption Day. 40 entities, countries, individuals. But all of West Africa, I think we came two individuals out of West Africa. Did James put it up? Let me see this. Yeah. So James didn't put it up. Okay, so James didn't put it up. What I'm saying, he didn't. So we get Alpha Contact, from Guinea, the former president, the president that was overthrown. The man is they overthrew the man, but yet and still they got a native man. They put you on sanction. Can you imagine?
Yeah, but you know what? Guinea was one of two countries I think that the U.S. did not invite to the leadership because of that.
But my thing is that they overthrew the man, but instead they Alpha Contact, the former president of Guinea, he was upset, and they went ahead to Malay, the son of the former president, Karen Kieta, the Nahin. And when we talk about the sanction, if you read the ambassador letter, his statement, He's saying this sunshine can come anytime. He says sunshine can come anytime. 40 individuals, entities. This is not a joke. But we'll be discussing it more. It's important for us to discuss it more because America is damn serious. They are pushing this thing and pushing it so hard. And I do believe that it should be concerning if they can go after former president sons. Imagine what they can do. They squeeze everything out of the rock till you see water. So, I want to say a beautiful show. I don't know why my brother Kev Hassan is all into Mr. Cummings. Maybe someday I will know. Let me play the retired suffering because I said about to, want me to play. But Kev, you were asking from the beginning of the show, you asked about some question, which I think he needs to address. He
Right.
was on clip saying that he will cost us. He said, I will cost
Yes, yes,
I will cost
yes.
everybody.
The
So
funny
I
thing
said,
is,
hold on now. I said, hold on now. Say we here now, like normal human being. We're not aliens. We on Earth. You know, give us reason why you said what you said.
okay, so you know very well. I think I spoke to you right after the incident, and even when I was on the media, I was appreciative of your role you play, Stanton, because people praised you. I called and said thank you. I even mentioned it, I believe, in one or two interviews. The guys, I rode with your guys. I appreciated them, asked them, right? Unfortunately, I heard that on your platform, they kept, I don't even want to call it name. Now that I think about it, I even want to get vested. He was inciting and justifying stupidity and saying all kind of stuff about me. I can be. It's just that I'm a forgiving person and I let things go because I don't believe you should keep anger and stuff in your heart. So when I made that statement, then if I had the opportunity to come on your platform, I would surely have blasted you. No question about it. Because my life was in danger. My life was a concern. When somebody like Kev was inciting and saying, now today, he got a man to say people got a right to express. Do you know writer's priority? Do you even understand that?
But haven't you said that because it's 7:13, Isaac? If Kev says something on the show to defend his government like he always does, why I involve every one of us that you cost every one of us?
That on the show. None of y'all rejected it. None of y'all said anything.
So
Most of y'all
couldn't
know
you?
better.
And number one, you say you heard. You didn't watch it. You
No, I
didn't
didn't
hear
watch
Kev
it.
saying it. Couldn't you call like you always do to ask and say, "My man Stanton, Kev said X, Y, and Z." Couldn't you do that?
That would
I
have
mean,
been right.
did
No,
you
no, no.
did you do that out of anger to say, you know
That would
what?
have been the right approach. That would have been the right approach to calm down. But again, I was in a situation where my life had been threatened, and kept them after the fact they were taking it for a joke. So I couldn't take it light with the platform. I know Dr. Francine Reyes is she on the platform too.
Let me ask you one question. I
Yeah.
mean, listen, for me, I will say this to you. This is who I am. People out there insult me. They tie me up with CDC and CPP and UP, whatever the case may be. They say the worst. They lie every day. And I keep on moving because I know who I am.
Right.
For 25 years or so, I spent my life in the church. I may not be perfect though, but I know how to forgive and move on. So I will have nothing against you or against anyone. After 2023, everybody moving to each his own. God will direct our footstep. Let me ask you this question. Let's come back to real quick. Maybe you can correct me on this one. Or before we play your beautiful music, what's going on with CPP? Maybe you will be the person to answer because you serve as chief of staff to Mr. Cummings. What's going on that CPP, the issue with Global ANC and the CPP USA, Global ANC Global,
Uh-huh.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
CPP USA, that some folks were forced to resign or to walk out of their position in Global ANC or ANC Global because they have joined CPP. Can you clarify for us?
Okay, so from my understanding, the way things are structured, right? There is ANC Global, there is ANC Liberia, there is CPP, right? And there is Team Comics at the highest level. So people who wanted to be with CPP USA, the idea was that you can't duplicate the opportunities for other people. You can choose to be with CPP USA, or you can choose to be with CPP Global. In terms of holding your position, your membership is still intact with everybody. But the idea was, let's create the environment where other people got opportunities. You can be vice for administration here or chairman in CPP Global, and then you say secretary general or director of communications in ANC Global. So that duplication of positions is what was made clear. And also, I believe it has to do with the advocacy versus fundraising versus other activities that were not clear. Nobody knows what the structure of CPP. I still don't know what CPP USA, whether they have actually formed into a nonprofit or a PAC or whatever. I don't know the orientation of that situation right now, right? So that was the premise. You can choose to be one way or the other.
Okay, so it was on the position.
Huh?
It was on the position.
It was on the position. It was not on membership.
It's
Nobody was
not the
forced to leave.
membership.
No, not
Okay.
membership.
It wasn't true. It wasn't true that folks that were told to leave, they were asking for bank statement, how the account structure is, and you guys couldn't give any statement and any report.
I don't know any veracity to that. There's no truth to that because the financial reports are done on a regular basis. They have an all hands meeting or they have the leadership meeting. And you, for your regional area as a leader, and I did that when I was chairman of CDC. You present to your leadership and they got to go back and communicate with the people.
It was important that you clarify. Are you still working for Mr. Cummings? And I'm saying Mr. Cummings, not CPP or not ANC. Are you still working for Mr. Cummings?
Well, I'm a member of the party, so I'm very active.
But you are not the chief of staff, are you?
No, I'm definitely not the chief of staff. Mariah is the chief of staff. Moba Yogbo is the deputy chief of staff for strategic outreach and engagement.
What's your position now in the party?
Well, I'm like, I guess, an eminent member. I'm an older guy. I'm a, active.
Are you still on pay?
Intellectual kind of person.
Taking pay? Are you still taking your regular pay? No.
Regular pay? What is regular pay?
Okay, you're good. You're smart, man. Thank you very much. You said what is regular pay?
No, but Stanton, to be honest, right? I truly believe Mr. Cummings can make the difference for Liberia. So the presumption of, those.
You regret leaving Cummings though under those circumstances? You regret?
If I regret?
Yeah. Under those circumstances.
I'm not the kind of person that can regret, man. My options are too many. I can't regret. I would love to be in Liberia right now. I'm trying to find my way to go there, but I got into other activities here now that I got to be resolved and set up before I leave.
Okay.
That's
about. Thank you very much, man.
Kev, you got a question about agriculture still?
Thanks. No, we have no time. Thanks for joining.
I ain't get no question for agriculture.
Thank you, yeah.
Thank you, yeah.
That's a Chinwe.
I appreciate the opportunity. Anytime you want me to come on, I'm available, especially if we can start to talk real issues. We really
talk about the issues.
Really skirted the key topics.
I would talk about the issue if you guys saying retire Roddy and who are. Let me say this.
We'll play the song. I'll play the song first.
I'm going to play the song, but let's go with this one though. So who tired suffering? Louis Brown tired suffering? Ivar tired suffering. Ivar Tuba tired suffering. Joe Wilson tired suffering.
I tired suffering.
You buying Domo
let me
at
ask my
Market Place every
question.
day. You Salama to the
Yes,
same time.
yes.
Yeah.
Hold up,
You know,
hold up.
you know why I
Hold
had
on.
to come to
Let me
top of
answer
something.
him. Let me answer him. Let me answer him.
Let me
You
finish.
buying
Let
Domo
me
every
finish.
day to
Let me
Market
answer.
Place.
I will answer
Let me
you.
no,
Yeah,
see, oh, you don't
yeah,
want brother the question. Yeah,
yeah,
Kev.
yeah.
I
Can I?
Tumaka has eaten Tomba, our tire
You
suffering.
buying Domo,
Yeah,
not eating Domo.
our
You
in
buying
Liberia,
Domo
we
for
want
everybody.
life, our tire suffering.
Kev,
Our
I beg you.
tire suffering.
Let me ask my question. Right? We tire suffering, right?
No, let me get water so I can answer your question good.
And for to want to say, I saw somebody. They are posting this thing. They're asking this question that Rich is saying. We tire suffering, rally. The faces. Tim Cummins. My own old man, Julia Donkey. She tire suffering. Daniel Che tire suffering. Yeke Koluba tire suffering. George Wisner tire suffering. Moriah Yakula tire suffering. Louis Brown tire suffering.
Both flying the head. You're flying up.
Salamatu tire suffering.
Our tire
Like,
suffering.
stop interrupting me, man. Bye. Hey, go by. Yeah, but this guy, bye. Oh man, wait. We want to play the next song, but before we play his song, let's ask him who already tired suffering. This is just a scam. But you know what? Let me just go to the
Big
sun.
scam.
Let me go to the sun. I don't want to get myself in situation tonight. It's time to go. James, can you play some man? Who are tired suffering? You looking for the top coming down.
Let me say this to you.
Yeah, my member, I guess so you remember.
No, let me say to you.
I know who not tire suffering.
Suffering is literal. Suffering is literal and is metaphorical.
Y'all good night, man.
You see again,
No, you can go. We got.
Suffering, oh, we tired. We tired, suffering, oh, we tired. Yes.
To show you, you will not win under my leadership as President of the Republic of Nigeria. I am running for president to put an end to your tears and your pains and suffering. No more will you go to the hospital and be rejected due to lack of money under my presidency. No more will you go to bed hungry due to the lack of food under my leadership as president. Certain ethnic groups feel that second-class citizen in this country under my presidency.
I'm as covered to you always do. And that is so you send me. But let me ask you a question. I hope you pay that man because your phone not to be paying people.
My
I
man.
hope you pay the man.
That one of the key things. That one of the key things Mr. Cummings wants to do for the artists, our creative people, to have possession of the intellectual property.
So I will ask you again. We understand all that. Retire. But Jim, what are you doing now? Is that Isaac play music?
Play the song. Jim won't play the song.
Isaac, we gotta go home, brother. Tomorrow we'll be having a
Well, let's
wonderful
go.
show. We are bringing in Alex. We are bringing in Alex tomorrow. Alex Williams from Legis. He will be here, and we're also trying to bring in the former CEO or president of LBDI, Joe Delaney. I'm in communication with him to come and break his silence because he resigned from LBDI, and we want to know the story. We want to say to everyone, have a wonderful evening. Till we meet again, may God bless you. May God
I got a
keep
question
you.
for the guy.
Yeah, you can come on. When they come, you can come on.
All right.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Nice seeing you, my man. Take care. Kev, later.
James Goode and Nelson Colette. That's it. So Jenkins, you know him, right? He was one of our county correspondents from Grand Cape Man. Yeah. Yeah, he sent me a message. He said he was working as one of the county correspondents from Grand Cape Man.
Yeah.
So we'll be reaching out to him. Yeah. Thank you very much, Nelson. Have a good weekend, James.
Yeah.
So Argentina won, right?
Yeah.
Good. I don't watch soccer like that, man. Said America left. Said America left again. I didn't. I've not seen any of the game. But I want to say thank you guys, man. Y'all have a good evening. Good night.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. You too. So, folks, thanks a lot for being a part of this edition of the program. Thanks to all of you who played the listening role, listening to your radio, Spoon 107.5 FM, Fabric 101.1 FM, Super 95.5 FM. To the folks who have been following by means of Facebook, on Spoon TV Live, Fabric TV Live, Super TV Live, and of course, Super TV Channel 10. We want to say thanks a lot to all of you. The invitation is yours to join the station or any of the different platforms that you've been following the show on. Tomorrow, same time, for another edition of the program Spoon Talk. Until that time, I'm Nelson Collet. James Goodefloma has been here in the back end, making sure that together we have things coordinated here. Have for yourselves a good night. Bye-bye.